Well, I guess we should start the stream now since it's 7 o'clock. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to Order 42. I'm Rob. That is a goofy looking ass smile. I just saw it in the preview window. Mace Windu. I saw it in the preview Mace Windu there. Anyway, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing okay. There's a lot going on. There's just a lot of news, a lot of things. I'm just gonna say this. I try to focus when it comes to the news. I try to focus on stuff that I think is interesting, or appeals directly to me. So if there's something that you guys want to talk about, if there's some movie news that you heard somewhere else or whatever, and you're like, hey, I wonder what Rob thinks of that. Hey, bring it up. We'll talk about it. Because I mean, there's going to be things like, for example, the Paramount WB thing.
Am I too early for the eating?
I mean, you're pretty early for that. This is prime time, it's a little more, you gotta kind of have to wait for the Order 42 after dark kind of thing. But I mean, live, no. But thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. And it's good to see all of you. I mean, look, Star Fox, selling a bunch over on that Switch 2 console. Star Fox is selling a bunch, and he's first here in chat today. So welcome, good to see you. And yet you won. You won the game with no prizes. Except for my thanks. Thank you. And welcome. And then Jinzu was next. And he said, Odyssey week. I've never seen a movie promoted with a dozen different trailers. Look, we'll get into it. We'll talk about a little bit about what I've heard. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. I'm going to see it Thursday afternoon. Not in IMAX because all of those are sold out through August. Like, I don't know exactly. I was thinking about that we could bring it up and look at because there's only one 70 millimeter theater here in Dallas Fort Worth. And I couldn't find, now here's the other thing. I'm not sitting in the front freaking row, okay? But they're showing almost all day. The first screening on Friday starts at 7:45 in the morning, and then the last screening is at 2:30 a.m. So apparently they're just staying open for 24 hours, which has got to be, man, that's nuts. But anyway, we'll get to that. But welcome, Ninjinzu. Good to see you. And Justin was number 3. He says, I won. It may look like my comment is the 6th one, but really it's the 1st. Anyone who says different is lying. But he said the first question of the night, did you watch The Studio? Yes, I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, and it was one of those situations where I was like, man, I really like this. I can't wait for the next week. And then completely spaced it and have never gone back. But I hear it's really, really good. Like I said, I really enjoyed those first couple of episodes. But yeah, never went back. I don't know why. And it's not that I didn't like the show. It's just that I spaced it out, I guess, you know? But yeah, I'm curious what you think of it. Do you like The Studio? That's the real question here, you know? That's the real question. And KP Senti, wow hi to you. I like that you always, no matter what stream I see, your first comment is always wow hi. Like you're surprised that you're there, you know? Wow, hi. Look, hey, whoa, wow. It's working. I'm in a stream, you know, I'm in a live. I don't know. But welcome. And I apologize in advance, KP Senti, that I don't have a video to play of you playing a game, playing that Metal Gear, and you zooming in on things. Anyway, but welcome. And Rufus, hello, good to see you, sir. Stop Fox asks for what studio, and it's the studio that's on Apple TV Plus or whatever it is now. TV Plus, Apple TV, whatever it is. The channel, the Apple's streaming channel. With Seth Rogen and in fact Catherine O'Hara was in the first season. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Bryan Cranston's in it. I really enjoyed what I saw. I just never got around to seeing the rest of it. And apparently animated GIFs do not work as emotes, which is kind of a bummer. And then Cosmo's talking about the sports ball. Apparently France didn't do anything. I don't know, but welcome, Cosmo. Good to see you. And then Robert Rivera says, what up, fellas? Good to see you. Rick Chaos says, I'm pretty sure Odyssey's overhyped. You can throw 20 of the greatest actors together if the... Wait. You can throw 20 of the greatest actors together. If the script and the scenes are boring, there's nothing you're going to do to save it. Have you seen it? I mean, look, here's the thing. Rick Chaos. I'm not picking on you, but there's a lot of people that really want this movie to suck. And it's a weird thing. It's really weird. Like, I don't do that. I hear, oh, there's a bunch of actors in this movie. It's a Christopher Nolan film. I love Christopher Nolan. I think there's only 1 or 2 films of his that I don't own. So I love him as a director. I want to see this movie. I don't understand how it's overhyped. I mean, tickets have sold out in, like I said, my IMAX theater here in Dallas Fort Worth is sold out through August. Almost completely sold out. Not completely sold out because, again, there's seats at the front of the freaking theater, but I don't want to see it there. You know, I don't want to sit there. So I don't know. I don't understand the hate. I just don't. Oh, there's a person in it that we don't like. Okay. I don't like Mark Wahlberg, but if there's a movie with Mark Wahlberg in it that I want to see, I'm going to go watch it and give it a shot. I just don't get the hate. I don't get the hate. But anyway, welcome, Rick. I hope you're doing okay. And I hope I didn't piss you off. I don't really want to piss anybody off, but I feel like the internet is full of hatred, you know, and it's full of, oh man, this is gonna suck, and this is, okay, but that's not what I tend to focus on. I tend to focus on the things that I'm interested in and the things that I'm excited about, you know? Like, for example, just to give you an example, and again, not picking on Max Sterling either, who just posted something. I don't know if what did he post here? Looks like he posted The Outfit from Arrow Films. I've never even heard of that movie. Anyway, uh, he posted an early review of Film Threat doing a review of the Odyssey. And one of those guys just supposedly completely hated it. And then Chris Gore gets on there and says things like, oh, there's things that I mean, it's definitely not a disaster. He's kind of in the middle on it. Okay. At least he was able to voice some things that may make sense. But again, this is also an early reaction. And honestly, the thing that I don't like about Film Threat is they almost start at the this is probably going to suck level. And I don't do that. When I walk into a theater, I'm expecting the movie to be great. And yeah, sometimes it falls short, but you know what? There's a lot of times where it's not just a 10 and it's not just a 0, it's somewhere in the middle. It's most certainly going to be somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be the worst thing I've ever seen because, well, there's not a Bigfoot involved, okay? But if it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, that doesn't mean that it's terrible, and that doesn't mean that it's not worthy of something. You know what I mean? And that's where with film criticism, it's something that I've actually thought about doing a video on it, like a straight up video on here's the problem with criticism today, movie criticism today. Number one, anybody can do it. Anyone can do it, no matter how many movies you've seen, how few movies you've seen. You get to put your opinion out there as uninformed as you may be. Now, there are going to be people like Chris Gore, honestly, he's been working in the industry for a long time. But the problem is he's learned, like a lot of people, that in order to get views, in order to get attention, you have to be negative about things. You have to yell and scream and do all these. And I'm like, I don't do that in real life. Why would I do that on YouTube just for clicks? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be overly negative for no reason. If there's something to be negative about the recent remake of The Crow, I will be. But there hasn't been anything that I've seen lately that warrants that kind of reaction. So why would I be disingenuous to you by saying something that isn't true or exaggerated? So that's the reason why, like, Film Threat has always been kind of on my kind of like there are YouTube channels that I flat out won't watch. And then there are YouTube channels that I kind of look at like, you know what? Sometimes they have a good point. But a lot of times it seems like they come at the movie with this kind of like, impress me. And I don't like that. You should try to welcome movies with open arms. And sure, there are going to be times you're going to be disappointed. But when you're like this all the time, like what do you like? Like that's the kind of thing that's where it kind of gets crazy for me. But anyway. And Cosmo said the Mayday trailer. Well, I'll tell you this. As I'm sitting here trying to be overly positive, I look at the Mayday trailer and I go, okay, sort of a throwback, sort of 80s, kind of feel to it. They're talking about Reagan and it's the Russians are the bad guys, but Kenneth Branagh is a Russian that's trying to, This is, if you don't know what this is, it's a movie about Ryan Reynolds. He's a pilot. He gets shot down over Russia. A Russian saves him and loves America so much that apparently they're going to team up and try to get him out of there. I don't know exactly, and I don't know if it matters that much. So I'm sitting there watching it and I go, this looks like it could be kind of fun. And then it's like, oh, it's going directly to Apple TV Plus. They haven't had the best track record when it comes to movies going directly to their service. Now, does that mean automatically that it's bad? No. I thought The Gorge with Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, I actually like that one a lot. Like, I like that movie a lot. Now, is it a movie that I'm going to watch over and over again? No. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. But then there was the John Krasinski, Natalie Portman movie that came out last year, I think. I never even watched it, and no one was talking about it. So I just said, okay, I just won't worry about it. I remember pretty much anything direct to streaming. I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of stock in it unless people start talking about it and get really excited about it. Like, I look at it and I go, eh. So that's just my thing. Give me a heads up when we're ready to oil up and hit the gym. Okay, 8-Bit Tacos, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Justin said it's 107. I'm outside dying currently. Tell me something great. I can't see you or chat, so please read me everything in the chat after this comment. Thanks. The studio equals fell asleep watching episode. Oh, so you didn't appreciate it. Okay. Now, I will say that a lot of the talk in that show is very inside baseball, meaning it's very, you kind of have to have some knowledge about the movie industry. And it even helps if you've worked on a movie, because there were some things in that show that made me go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're covering that. They're showing that. I mean, it's like, that's stuff that I experienced making Adventures in Game Chasing. This is really cool to see, in a mainstream comedy. Like, I was really enjoying it. But then it got really, like, I think it's the second episode, made me feel extremely, like, it had that anxiety of like, oh my God, he's doing that. Oh, he's ruining the whole, oh man. So it's kind of like, it's just one of those weird things. But like I said, I enjoyed what I watched. I just haven't finished it. And then he says, one last night. We'll get back to you with a full review soon. Oh, I fell asleep watching episode 1 last night. We'll get back to you with a full review soon. Gotcha. It was 2 different comments. Didn't realize that. That dang clip. Metal Gear's... Oh, Twin Snakes. There you go. And now Twin Snakes is in the backlog for KP Senti. And no, I'm not going to read every single comment or every single chat thing. But before we get, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a pin in the chat for a second. Just to let's do the news really fast. There's not a whole lot of news that I'm gonna get like super involved in. But there is some news. And then we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll get back into some of the other like trailers and things like that. But first, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the passing of Sam Neill. He was 78 years old. Apparently, he had some health issues in the last few months. This is just a bummer, man. And the weird thing is and then this is probably a little bit controversial, but I will say it because it's true. I'm not the biggest fan of the adaptation of Jurassic Park because I read the book first, and I was really kind of irritated that Steven Spielberg took this really cool science story and turned it into a chase movie. That being said, you have to meet a movie on its own terms, right? You can't expect a movie to be something that it's not. And Jurassic Park, for what it is really entertaining. And Sam Neill is a huge part of that. Of course, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and Samuel L. Jackson and Richard Attenborough. And I almost said Dennis Nedry. That's his name. I can't remember his actual name, but I mean, like, that movie is good for what it is. And but Sam Neill is, he's been in films for a long, long time. A lot of people are bringing up things like Possession. I have never seen that, but I have seen The Omen 3. And The Omen 3, he was really good in that. Like, he's really good in that. He was also in Hunt for Red October, um, and a movie that I never got around to seeing. Hunt for the Wilder People is supposed to be really, really good, and Sam Neill is supposed to be really, really good in it. But yeah, I never got to see that one. He's great in Daybreakers. That's a great movie. Get out of here. I hate it when it does that. Just when you mouse over somebody's stupid head. Anyway, Sam Neill, amazing, amazing actor. So much charisma. Event Horizon, he was in. Um, so yeah, it's Rob, shut your mouth. Like I said, on its own terms, it's a good movie. I, as a kid in 1993, 16 or 7, I guess I would be 17. I was 17 when Jurassic Park came out. I'd already read the book. I was really excited. Went to the movie and was like, "Why did it? It's just a chase movie. I mean, it's cool, and it sounds the sound is amazing. Everything about the movie is amazing." But I'm irritated that all of the science stuff was kind of in the background. And of course, there might be some people that feel the same way about, say, Project Hail Mary. But I mean, again, Jurassic Park on its own terms, I like it. It's a good movie. Of course, it's Steven Spielberg. Um, and there are things about The Lost World that I really like too. But yeah, it's, he was only in, I can't remember which Jurassic World he was in because I never saw it. I basically saw the first Jurassic World and was like, these are not for me. These are not for me anymore. I actually liked the first three, um, with William H. Macy and Tay Leone and Sam Neill. I like that one. Call me crazy, but I actually enjoy that one because it knew what it was, and it knew exactly what it was supposed to be, and it did it well. I like it. Other than Tay Leone calling her son's name 150 times in the movie, other than that, it's a fun movie. But anyway, the fact is Sam Neill is amazing, and yeah, let's raise our glasses to Sam Neill and say job well done, sir, and you had a hell of a run. He's one of those actors, and this is something that I never really thought about until John Campea said it. He said Sam Neill is the kind of actor that you never thought, oh, he's getting close to the end of his career. He was always putting in great work, and he's got another movie coming out. So, look, cheers to Sam Neill, amazing actor, and by all accounts, a lovely guy. So, rest in peace, sir. As I drink my tea. The other thing I wanted to point out really fast is that next week is Comic-Con. Why is that highlighted? Or is it highlighted? It looks like it's highlighted. It's not. Well, 2026 starts next week, so you can bet that you will see a lot of news break coming from Comic-Con. Again, most of that's going to be your comic book movies. Not everybody's going to be into that, but man, I'm excited, especially considering that there's just a lot going on. There is a lot going on in at Marvel and DC, and there's been a lot of rumors of casting for future movies, and it's been really interesting. Nothing's been confirmed yet, which is why I don't typically talk about that stuff. But there's a lot of rumors going around, and it'll be interesting if we get some confirmations next week. Comic-Con, July 23rd through the 26th. So starting Thursday, it's going to be fun. I also wanted to bring this up. This is not exactly, hey, things to do. This is not exactly the kind of thing that I typically cover, but since it is cinema history, I got to bring it up. Man, Gone with the Wind, collector's edition, 4K, with a ton of stuff is on pre-order now. Gone with the Wind is a classic. I know, I understand that there's going to be people that go, I don't like that movie. Okay. But there's a lot of people that have been looking forward to this 4K restoration. I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited for this one. I don't think I need the big bad crazy collector set. As you can see, an international. Oh, here. Let me do this. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of my face for a minute so you can see what's over here. So you've got a two-sided international movie poster. You have a 12-page booklet with a timeline. Oh, you can't see that. There's a bookmark with 1970 re-release artwork. There's a movie ticket reproduction, which is actually kind of neat. 5 original theater lobby cards or reproductions with the standee display frame, which is kind of cool. You do get a steelbook, a limited edition steelbook. The movie is a little over 4 hours, I think. So it's split onto two 4K discs to maximize the video quality. The same as Ben-Hur. It's fantastic. So at the intermission, you'll change discs. This is going to be great. And then a Blu-ray of special features. It's a really, really cool set. It's a really cool set. I just don't know if I need to pay $65 for this special edition. And I mean, man, for $19.39, that looks ridiculous. That looks so good. So I'm definitely getting it. It's just a matter of, I mean, look at that film grain. I mean, that's awesome stuff. You can see the line, like above order 42, you see that line, that gradient. So if I do this, it might actually look better. Easier to see the grain structure. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love the way this looks. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. But what's really interesting is that, again, you're getting multiple editions of this movie. Hello, I'm back. Multiple editions. There is just a regular steelbook, non-collector's edition, and then there's going to be a regular, like a standard edition. And as far as I know, all of the disc content is the same throughout. So each disc will have, or each release will have the same content on the discs. And it's very interesting that the only place that you can get the collector's edition, this limited edition, whatever, it's Walmart. So Walmart will be carrying this, which might also mean that you could buy it in store and it might actually end up being cheaper. Who knows? Hey, did you know that Spanish and Espanol is now available? That's awesome. I'm not signed into my Walmart account. So anyway, very cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for Gone with the Wind. And then really quick, this just broke a couple hours ago. It's not the biggest news in the world, but it is interesting if you're interested in, comic book stuff. But Zolo? Is it Jolo? Maridueña is reprising Blue Beetle in Man of Tomorrow. Now, if you remember, Blue Beetle was the last of the old DCEU. That was like the last movie that came out. Didn't do great. Okay? But from what I've heard, I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen like the last 2 or 3 of them. As soon as they announced that they were kind of done, I was like, okay, I don't know if I need to see these movies. I think most people feel that way. But with Blue Beetle, I've heard really good things. Like I heard it was a really good movie. So I don't know, but he's coming back. He's found his way into the stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. So there you go. Now that is the news, and then we'll talk about some trailers and some other things here in a bit. So let's get caught up for a second. Let's see. Twin Snakes. What part did you get? 20 minutes in. I got stuck 5 minutes in because camera was messy. I got to pull out the GameCube. Donnie is greater than Mark. I mean, I don't know about that. all I'm saying is that Mark Wahlberg is one of those actors that, um, and this is again, this is one of I'm guilty of the same situation that I kind of complain about in a lot of cases, is where when you hear an interview or whatever with an actor, sometimes it can turn you off of that actor. I saw his I don't remember what interview it was or anything like that. I think it was for the Italian Job. But the interview was so, it just made me feel like he was just a complete ass. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with Mark Wahlberg. I don't care. I think he sucks. You know, and anybody that treats people like that, I just there was something about him. It just turned me off completely. Um, so I don't know. I didn't, and I don't think he's, you know, he's another one of those actors where in some cases this is good because you kind of want such and such actor in such and such role. But in a lot of cases, when an actor is just playing themselves in this situation, it's not great. So anyway, not the biggest fan of Mark Wahlberg, but again, if he's in a movie that I think it looks good, I will give it a shot. Last year, I think it was Flight Plan. I saw that opening night because it was something that I was interested in, and April said, "Yeah, let's go watch it." So, yeah. So it to me, it you the whole point I'm trying to make with this whole thing, and we'll get into it, I'm sure, a little bit more because I see Greg Harris's comment here. Hi, Greg. Good to see you. Is that just because an actor is in something doesn't mean that it's going to be a complete turnoff. Like, I don't know. Greg Harris said, heard Ellen Page. I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to this person, there is a change, and it is Elliot Page now. That is the name. So the problem is I don't know. I don't typically worry about pronouns, but in this case, I believe that this person deserves it. Do I agree with it? Do I condone it? No, no. It has nothing to do with me as a person viewing movies. It doesn't really concern me. That being said, the attention given to this person, who, by all accounts, is in the movie for a small fraction of the runtime. Is it worth? Yeah, it says only in it for 4 minutes, so don't understand why people are wanting this movie to fail. And the fact is, Chris Nolan worked with this person before. Because Inception. They were in Inception. So, look, I don't know. All I know is I saw the trailer and thought, that looks good. Honestly, I heard Christopher Nolan was doing it, and I'm like, I don't care who you put in it, because I know you're going to get the best person for the role, or whatever. You know, I think it's going to be worth seeing in the theater. That's all I care about. We need a Bond villain ranking list. Oh man, Lou, that would be difficult. Just because, I mean, I'd have to. There are going to be some of them that kind of meld together, and some of them aren't as good. Like really, I think of course, Goldfinger, Doctor No, like when the man with the golden gun. I mean, there are certain was Scaramanga, right? Christopher Lee. Certain ones stick out, you know, Alec Trevelyan and Goldeneye. But like, I can't remember the bad guy in World Is Not Enough. I can't remember Tomorrow Never Dies. The tech, or the media mogul guy. I can't remember his name. I mean, there's just like some that are just like, eh. It's like, okay, here's like 5 really good ones, and then the rest are just kind of eh. But yeah, that's interesting though. It would be an interesting video. I honestly think I would have to watch them all again. And man, I don't know if I am gonna have the time to do something like that. And see, like Glenn is saying an opinion about Elliot Page, and the thing is I get the I get that thinking, but at the same time, the way that I look at things is that if that doesn't affect you, or okay, I should say this, make it a little more about my thinking, right? The decisions of this person have no effect on me. Zero. So why should I care? I don't. I don't. I just don't. There's nothing that that person can do that will majorly affect. Now, if this person came into chat and started calling me names and, you know, whatever, then we'd have a different conversation. At this point, like I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know, uh what's his you know, when you hear about an actor or actor, like an actor marrying another actor, and then they, you know, get a child from Thailand or whatever, and I'm like, okay. See, that's why it's like all of those, that's all extracurricular to me, you know, which again, I'm slightly hypocritical because of my, uh, I will say, I'm a little like if you're gonna be binary about it, so 1 and 0, yay or nay on Mark Wahlberg, I'm usually gonna be nay, but I would still give him the chance if he's in a movie that I'm interested in seeing. Other than that, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know any more about actors, uh, musicians, uh, God, sports stars. I don't care. Don't care. Are they good at what they do? Can I applaud them for the work that they do? That's all I can. That's all I care about. The work. Because Tom Cruise is another one of those actors that gets on people's lists of, oh, we shouldn't like Tom Cruise because of this, or we shouldn't like George Clooney because he talks about this. Who cares? Is he a good actor or not? Did you like his movie or not? That's what I'm concerned about. Everything else is noise. It's all noise and it's all subjective. The beliefs that you might have in chat are completely different than sometimes. Sometimes we agree, but a lot of times I will be the voice of dissent. And then there will be other people that completely agree with me. And there are people that completely disagree with me. But that's the beauty of art. Art is supposed to be about that. I don't care about the actors' lives, the directors' lives, all that kind of stuff. I care about the work. That's what I care about. Just like when I'm reading uh Ernest Hemingway. I'm not thinking, I haven't read Ernest Hemingway in many years, but I'm not thinking about the fact that he was an alcoholic and, you know, all of these other things that have come out after he died about all that. It's like, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm concerned in. All of that is not, it's different than the work itself. I will admit that there are certain actors who have gotten into trouble in some ways, and that has affected my viewing of their past work. It's hard to view their past work without thinking of that. It just like it's hard to watch Return of the Jedi without thinking about how everything turns out in Rise of Skywalker. It's hard to do that now. But I try. I try to let the work speak for itself. That's hey. That's just my anyway. Have I missed any Sims talk or butt talk? Filbert, no, you haven't. There hasn't been any as of yet. I'm pretty sure the Sims I wouldn't have anything to say. A lot to say about butts though. But no, not yet. Baseball, ew. Bun City? Buns? What are y'all talking about? Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking about the what are we talking about? Filbert said, "Tell Justin that I got a hella good tan this weekend." Well, there you go. And Star Fox, man, I am right there with you. He said, "I hate the sun. I try to stay out of it." True. True, man. I want to play the Jurassic Arcade. You mean the one where you're like shooting things in a Jurassic Park van thing? And there's the Rob, shut your mouth about Jurassic Park. I mean, like I said, it's an opinion, and I understand that it's not a popular opinion, but it's one that every time I watch the movie, I can enjoy it on the level of the movie. But there's always that in the back of my head that's like, man, they could have done this, and it could have been really interesting. The fact that uh oh, what's his name? The the owner of the park was like a complete, I mean, he was not, sweet, almost Santa Claus looking Richard Attenborough. No, he was a very he's kind of a disgusting man in Jurassic Park, the book. Um I can't remember the character's name. Anyway, yeah. So there were a lot of changes. There were a lot of things that I was very pleased to see, and then there were a lot of things where I was kind of like, man. But anyway, it's no movie's going to be a science lesson. If it's mainstream Hollywood, you're not going to get a science lesson. You're going to get bullet points at best. So I should have known that. But and I mean, it's one of those situations where I have to continually tell myself adaptations are different than the books. And guess what? The book still exists. If I want to read the book again, I can. And it doesn't change the fact that the movie, you can never change that movie now. I mean, unless, somebody decides to do it. For the most part, you can't change the movie any more than, you can't add scenes or whatever. The movie is what it is. The book is what it is too. So, anyway. Uh, yeah, great actor. Sucks his health kept him out of a lot of movies. Yeah. Yeah. And Star Fox, you're right. The first three movies to me are like, I could not get into Jurassic World at all. Like it was just like, this is so way below what those other movies were, in my opinion. So I didn't watch anything beyond that. I did watch the latest, the Rebirth. Is it Rebirth? I did watch that, hoping that it was like a return to form. It wasn't. There was some excellent set pieces, but other than that, it was pretty bad. Like, I can't see myself watching the next one. I don't know. Unless they do something crazy that makes me go, "Oh, I gotta see that." I just can't see myself watching it. So. Yeah, Star Fox, I can see that. I can see how you could have misread that. I just remembered watching Andromeda Strain as a kid and was bored, then watched Jurassic Park in the theater and had a great time. Okay with less science from the books. Need to rewatch Sam Neill and Merlin. I can't remember if I saw that. I forgot about that. Merlin was a TV miniseries. And I'm not sure if I watched it or if it was something that I just saw was on because I think April was watching it when it was on TV. Um, I can't remember it. I can't remember it. But yeah, look, Sam Neill was amazing. And again, like people were like saying stuff like what is the line that you think of when you think of Sam Neill? You know what the weird? There's two lines that stick out to me, and they're both from Jurassic Park. I mean, you can call me a. I'm waiting for the motorcycle to go by. You can call me a tourist or whatever, but I remember I've decided not to endorse your park. I remember that. And then I also remember when the little girl is freaking out in Jurassic Park and she's like, he left us. He left us. And he goes, but that's not what I'm going to do. And it's just the way that he delivered that line was, it was good stuff, And it makes me think of somebody said it was somebody's comment on the John Campea show. So it was just a fan that said this, but he said I never really thought about it before, but his performance, because Jurassic Park, if you really think about it, Jurassic Park is a scary movie. For like a little kid, the dinosaurs are kind of scary and they're eating people and stuff. But Sam Neill's performance, he's making the characters, the kid characters feel safe, but he probably also, his demeanor also made the kids in the audience feel safe. And it was one of those things that made me go, holy crap. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I love that. Anyway, sorry, I'm tearing up because thinking of Sam Neill. Oh, and by the way, it was something that I thought about yesterday when I was looking up stuff that Sam Neill had done. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I've never seen. Like In the Mouth of Madness, I never saw that one. There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen. But I was looking at the birthdays yesterday. Harrison Ford turned 84, and Patrick Stewart turned 86. So here's the deal, man. We're getting to that point where a lot of our stars from the 80s, and I mean, well, unfortunately, it never really stops. We keep losing, amazing people because that's just the way of life. But man, it's going to get really rough. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of tears on Order 42 when some of these actors, directors, composers, it's going to be rough, but that's just the way of life, and it sucks. It sucks. Gone with some wind, never hoid of her. And here's the thing, I get it. When somebody says Gone with the Wind is just, it's too long, and I didn't really like it. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but it's a classic. And I've seen it twice, I think. And the first time I was too young. I couldn't appreciate it. The second time I was a little older, a little wiser, and had a lot more patience, and was able to watch that movie and see it for what it was. And it was like, this is a good movie. I mean, it's not a movie that I'm just going to pop in every Sunday or something, but it's a movie that I want in my collection. Just like The Searchers. The Searchers is another movie in 4K that I love, and that when I decide to watch that again, I'm going to have it. I mean, seriously, The Searchers, John Wayne, John Ford, director, right? When you pop that in, you're most likely going to be seeing it in better quality than it was even shown in theater back then. Because back then, theaters didn't have, standards. A lot of theaters would dim the light bulb to make it last longer, thinking that would make it last longer if it wasn't so bright. So a lot of theaters were just substandard back then. So it's one of these situations where a movie like this being restored the way it has been, I'm super excited. Super excited. And apparently a lot of the digital versions of the movie are going to have this new restoration on it too. So even if you end up buying, the digital copy, it's probably going to look good. In fact, I don't even know if I have it digitally. God, no, I don't. So I don't own it currently, but that will be one that I will buy. Oh yes, it will be mine. Lou asked, "You ever see those stupidity expensive cool mini statues they show off at Comic-Con? If only I had FU money, Lou." Man, I'm right there with you. I love those things. I think they're so cool. And my part of the reason why I don't collect a whole lot of things is because I know those things exist. Like people have, and again, this is not a condemnation on anyone's collecting habits. But some people would be like, "Hey, do you have this this action figure of whatever. It's really cool. I'm like, yeah, that is really cool. But I also know that there's a Hot Toys version that's twice as big, super super detailed. All the the way that you can pose them, it's so much better. I mean, I love them. They're so great, but they're $200, $300, $400 a piece, and I can't afford that. I can't justify that. I have only technically I only have two statues in here. I say technically because I do have a Hot Toys version of the Mandalorian, uh, that with Grogu, and this was back when the Mandalorian was like super hot. Not that way now, right now, but I do have a Darth Vader and a 501st Clone Trooper up there from Kotobukiya, and I don't even know if that's the way you say it. It could be like Kotobukiya, Kotobukiya. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but they are they have they're statues. They're larger, and they're just typically more detailed and all that kind of stuff, and that's what I like. So let's see. You ever see those stupidity? Oh, that's that. Yes, but yes, Lou. Dude. I mean, they have Sideshow has your life-size Darth Vader, your life-size Stormtrooper, your life-size Boba Fett, your life-size R2, your life-size Yoda. I would love all that stuff, dude. If I had the room and the money, I would. It would be stupid. I mean, seriously, what I would want. I mean, of course, because I would have this huge house too. If I had this kind of money, you would go down a hallway to get to the theater room, which would probably be underground. But you'd have a walkway that goes down, and on the sides you'd have those statues as you walk down, and movie posters and all kinds of stuff. Dude, the memorabilia would be insane. But part of the reason too that I don't like buying that kind of stuff, it's the same reason why I don't care about collecting super rare like Tolkien stuff, is that at that point it becomes history. And I don't want to be a steward of history. Like to me, a first print of The Hobbit that, no telling how much those are going for now. But a first print of The Hobbit belongs in a museum. Like it doesn't belong in my house where there's a freaking window right here and it gets hot in this room in the summertime and super cold in the wintertime. No. It shouldn't be anything of super value in this room. Everything here is like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I have a cool freaking lightsaber there. Yeah, it's cool. But it ain't, thousands of dollars and rare and all that kind of stuff. That's just how I look at it. So, with something like those statues, some of them are so expensive that they become something more than just what they are. It becomes an art piece. And I don't collect, I don't know. I'm probably way overthinking it, but yeah, I would love to have some of those. I can't justify them. I still want that, what is it, like an 8th scale or something like that? Heath Ledger Joker. Because I mean, seriously, my whole life, I don't think, and I love Star Wars, right? But I don't think there is a more perfect adaptation or version of the Joker than Heath Ledger's, the way that he played the Joker in The Dark Knight. There's none better. Joker has, ever since about 1988, 89, probably 88, because I started reading Batman comics before the movie came out. The Joker has been my favorite villain, even eclipsing Darth Vader, which I know it's crazy, but it's the Joker. For the longest time on the old switched on boards, the message boards, my avatar was the Joker from The Killing Joke. Because the Joker is, to me, the perfect villain. He is the perfect villain to me. I love him so much. Even when he does horrible, terrible things in the Batman universe, I love that character. So yeah, I would love to have that huge freaking statue of Heath Ledger as the Joker, but I can't justify it. I just can't. As much as I want it, I can't justify it. Gonna get that Gone with the Wind for $12 a month. Is that what it said? Was there a payment plan? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. As low as $12 a month with one pay. I don't do any of the, like, this is one of those things, and I don't know if you guys learned this or if this was something that was taught to you, but I was always kind of raised by the idea of, if you can if you can't afford it right now, if you can't afford to throw down the money right now for this thing, then you don't need it. The only thing that you really need to uh pay monthly is your car and your house, because you can't just, I mean, some people can. You can't just drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on a house, or tens of thousands of dollars on a car. So those are the only two things that you finance. Everything else you should be able to pay for. And if you can't pay for it right now, you save up. And it's the part of the reason why and of course I did not take that uh that advice for a long time, but I have since. We paid off all of our credit cards. And we pay off our credit card every month. We use it to pay, buy gas, and because of the points, right? Buy gas, groceries, all that kind of stuff. But then we pay it off, and we don't have a credit card payment. And it's like, if you can't afford it, then you don't get it until you can. And so you have to make choices, and it's a constant game of, okay, well, I'm gonna in so many ways eat bologna for a week so I can afford to buy Gone with the Wind at $65 if I want it. You know what I mean? But again, I'm nobody's dad. I'm just a dude, and I do things the way I do them. And then Jinzu said Blue Beetle was sick. See, I still never watched I didn't watch Black Adam. That period right there was a period there where I didn't watch any comic book movies. I didn't see the Marvels. I didn't see Thor not no, I saw Ragnarok, but I didn't see Love and Thunder. I didn't see there was a few in there. I never saw Wakanda Forever. I love Black Panther. Like, seriously, Black Panther as a comic character is really cool. And I love Black Panther. Didn't see Wakanda Forever. Part of that too was, Chadwick Boseman and all that stuff. But I still need to see that, because I know that there's some characters that will show up later that I want to see. So, yeah. Walmart has one pay. Lou said Dune 3 trailer killed me, got me hyped, and then bombshell drop of December, thought for sure was summer release. Yeah, Lou, it's coming out the exact same day as Avengers Doomsday, December 18th. So, and the crazy thing is, so you've got Avengers Doomsday. It's going to be a huge movie. You can sit there all day long and say, oh, it's, who cares about comic movies? Avengers Doomsday is going to be huge. Dune 3 is going to be huge. And they both come out the same day. And Dune 3 locked up all the IMAX screens for 3 weeks. So Avengers Doomsday, you will not be able to see in IMAX until what? The second week of January? Now, you'll also see that Disney came out with this thing called Infinity Vision, which is basically, hey, if you're a movie theater chain, and if you have these standards on your theater screen, we're just going to dub that Infinity Vision, which doesn't really mean anything. All it means is that, hey, it's a special, screening. It's really just like, for example, like a Screen X, or maybe some of the 40X screens, or the like the Cinemark has the XD screens, which is the larger format. That's what it is. It's premium format other than IMAX, because Disney won't be able to put Avengers Doomsday in IMAX until the middle of January. Kind of funny. But yeah, coming out the same freaking day, man. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it because when Dune 2 came out, there was actually, I got into an early screening. And so I would really like to do that for Dune 3 because I don't want to be in the theater or at a theater for 6-7 hours while I watch these two movies. And it kind of sucks to do two reviews in one day. But I will do it if I have to. You know what I mean? Like, I will totally do it. But, and honestly, uh, this afternoon, I spent about 20 minutes going through the showtimes just to see the Odyssey again in 70 millimeter. Because again, I'm not seeing it in 70 millimeter because all those, I don't know if you remember this, but last summer, they released IMAX 70 millimeter tickets for sale for the Odyssey last year. And the first screening sold out in like 15 minutes. So, yeah, I didn't get in there. And honestly, look, you want to know my honest opinion? I hate IMAX. I think IMAX is an inferior presentation. I don't like the seats. I don't like that the sound to me isn't as good as like AMC's Dolby theaters. They're like their Dolby Prime, or I don't know what the name of it is now. I think it's just like, I think mine is not a Prime. It's just an AMC Dolby Cinema, but I love it. I love Dolby Cinema. It's so great. The sound is perfect. Everything's great. In Cinemark, Cinemark IMAX, it's not my favorite. I would rather go into a regular theater and see it. I would rather go to a Cinemark XD and see it. But that's just me. So it's going to be interesting how all that's going to play out with Dune and Avengers Doomsday. So yeah. Movie High Club says Jim Carrey 2 worst or not so good movies. Jim Carrey. That's hard because I haven't seen them all. But I remember not being a fan, and again, this could change with a rewatch, but I remember not being a fan of was it Man in the Moon, where where he plays Andy Kaufman. I didn't think that was great. I didn't think that was a really great movie to me. And then you'd probably have to pick the Dumb and Dumber sequel as like two of his worst movies. That's my opinion because I love the two Ace Ventura movies. I love The Mask. Uh, I don't love Batman Forever, but there are things about Batman Forever I like. Um, so yeah, that's just off the top of my head. Yeah. No, Rufus, it doesn't. But you're not wrong. Uh, and by the way, I see I'm a little far behind, but that's because we were doing the news. So let's finish getting caught up. Rufus was talking about Inception. Anyway, speaking of Inception, are you a Paprika fan? Dune 3 trailer for the win. Dude, the Dune 3 trailer is amazing. Paprika I've never seen, and it's one of those that keeps coming up, and it's like every now and then I'll see it pop up like for sale digitally, like really cheap, and I'm like, I think I should just watch that because I've heard some things that there's some similarities. So, and then Rufus said Paprika is so dope. How are they connected? Uh, and apparently, Justin didn't answer that. I'm not sure exactly, but I have heard things about that there's like a connection there. And I think it may just be with you know, with dreams or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is it's popped up here and there and it makes me want to see it. Do you play boomer shooters? That mouse PI for hire game is great so far, Ricky said. There you go. And Rufus said, yes and no. I play old shooters that boomers play, but I don't play the new games designed to look like them. Petition to get Elliot Page in the chat. Everyone go vote in the Discord. I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, I'm not going to say you shouldn't try. Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have been around or how long you've been around Order 42, right? I started doing this in March or April 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, right? And I loved doing interviews. I still love doing interviews. I love talking to people and hearing their story. How did you get here? What were your influences? What were the things, what were the steps that you took to get to this point? All of those things I love. I think it's fascinating. And it's fascinating because everyone does have a story, you know? And it's you're delving into it. I was lucky enough to uh interview some people that I thought were really, really interesting. Of course, there was Yoshi, who did the Yoshi Vu, who did the visual effects work on, or some of the visual effects work on Adventures in Game Chasing. I got to interview, was it Scott Christian Sava, who was and I haven't seen him around. I don't know if he stopped doing online stuff. I don't know, or it could be because I've kind of stepped away from a lot of the online stuff. But anyway, he was the director of the animated film Animal Crackers. Is that the name of the movie? Which is a Netflix film, or it wasn't. I mean, Netflix bought it to be on Netflix, and I loved it, and I thought it was really, really good. And so I got to talk to him about his art, the development of the story, and all that stuff. That was fascinating. I had to talk to Joe Achman, who is a voice actor, and he's been doing voice work for anime. And I mean, he was in Red Dead Redemption. He was in JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and he played a part in one of the little segments in Star Wars Visions. So anyway, voice actor. How did I loved hearing those stories. So multiple visual effects artists, Miguel Guerrero, who did visual effects work for Alien vs. Predator Requiem, which is, look, admittedly not the best movie, but man, his visual effects work were cool. It's one of the things that I remember about the movie is his visual effects work. And then he worked on Groot, for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I mean, there's so many things that this guy, had his hands in. So it was fascinating to interview these people and then dig into their filmography and see the work they did and then how they progressed. I love that stuff. But the problem is finding people to interview and getting them to nail down a time. Because, man, the worst part about doing interviews was chasing people down and trying to get them to, okay, we're going to go at this time. Is this cool? Okay, that's 7 p.m. Central Time now. Okay, where are you located? Oh, you're in, okay. So that would be this time, your time. You know what I mean? It's like I hated the scheduling. I hated that. But I love the process, and I love the research, because that's what I used to do is before if I knew that Scott Christian Sava was going to be on the channel, I would look into his past work and try to get an idea of who this guy is so I can ask questions that, so, hey, you guys can find me somebody to interview. I'll interview, you ready, Justin? No. Anyway, we shouldn't like me because I have a different way of thinking, Rob. I mean, I don't know about that. Thing is, man, everybody's got different opinions, and the thing that I try to do is let your voice be heard, but also I want to know a little more. If you say, hey, this person or this movie, I'll just say this movie sucks. Okay, what sucks about it? Because the problem is too many people are either yay or nay, and there's more to it than that. There's all this room. It's not just black or white. There's gray in the middle. And sometimes a movie that's a 6 out of 10 can still be a good time. And that's what you've got to understand, is that just because a movie isn't absolutely perfect and completely hits every note for you doesn't mean it's a worthless movie. And it actually may hit every note for this person over here. So that's why criticism is difficult. You got to be able to voice what it is that you don't like about it, and but at the same time try to make it known that if someone else is cool with that, then they may enjoy it more than I will. Anyway, but hello, Chris. Did I say hi, Chris? Hi, Chris. I hope you're doing excellent, sir. I am going to go see Odyssey. I'm still pumped. Nolan is way too good of a filmmaker. Plus, the story is great. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. To me, Christopher Nolan is one of those filmmakers that he is in the top 1% of filmmakers. I mean, he's definitely made choices over the years that are questionable. Like, for example, I don't think making dialogue unintelligible or solo, not solo like Han Solo, but so low in the audio mix that it bleeds into everything else and you can't understand what's being said. I'm sorry. That's not going to break my immersion to be able to understand what the characters are saying. So that's one of those things that I disagree with. But man, the guy is so he's just so smart about a lot of his decisions. I love the fact somebody asked him about the whole Quentin Tarantino, that, oh yeah, he's only going to make 10 films and all this stuff. And he said, honestly, I try to make a movie. Like every time I make a movie, I act like this is the last movie I'm ever going to be able to make. And so I'm going to make that movie the best that I can. And I'm like, F yeah, dude, you're awesome. I love that kind of thinking. You know, it's like, it's not fatalist and it's not pessimistic to say, I'm going to live this day like it's my last. I don't think that's not fatalist. That's being, I'm going to try to make this the best I can. Period. I like that. I like that way of thinking. And guess who gets to benefit from that? This guy. So, anyway. But Chris, I'm glad you're pumped. I mean, look, the thing is, there's very little that I've heard so far that have made me think, oh yeah, this movie's gonna be trash. Come on. Like if you start off your review by saying this movie's trash, I'm like, I don't know if I can believe you at all, Mr. I don't know who you are from Film Threat. I don't get that. And I'm not trying to call him out or anything like that. I don't agree with that kind of thinking. No movie. Okay, almost no movie is trash. Bigfoot versus DB Cooper, trash. That is trash. Anything else? At least you tried. And then we can see where the issues were. It's trash. Anyway. In the Mouth of Madness, Event Horizon. Yeah, absolutely. Rick Chaos. And those are two that, or Event Horizon is one that I've seen multiple times. That was one of those that I remember seeing and I didn't like it. And years later, I kept hearing it again. People talking about Event Horizon. Oh man, Event Horizon's so cool. You got to see it again. And they did like I don't remember if it was a Blu-ray release or what the deal was, but Event Horizon was coming up a lot. And it just made me go, I'm going to watch this again. I mean, it's been years since I've seen it, and maybe I've changed and maybe the movie will be better. I don't like the movie. I'm sorry. And then maybe it's because I think that Paul W.S. Anderson is a terrible director. Like, I don't think he's that good. He doesn't put together movies that I want to see. So maybe that's it. I mean, you have Samuel L. Jackson in it. There were things about it that I like. One of the more frustrating things, and I shouldn't say that he's a terrible director. That was way too binary. That's way too, what's the term? Way too aggressive. He's a director I don't like. I don't like his directorial style, and I don't like the way that he puts his movies together, because I don't think they're effective. There are some really cool ideas in Event Horizon and some things that I kind of wish that it went in a certain direction, and then it just kind of goes on a direction. And I don't like the way that movie turned out. But that's just me. Mouth of Madness is a deep movie, fun watch, and that's yeah, and that's isn't that is that considered the second movie or no? There's a there's this theory that John Carpenter did his like losing or yeah, I guess it I can't remember if it's the second or third. Anyway, it's the, sort of insanity movie, so insanity trilogy or something like that where it's like The Thing, The Serpent and the Rainbow and In the Mouth of Madness. I could be wrong about that. I could have that totally screwed up. But anyway, I never saw Serpent in the Rainbow or In the Mouth of Madness. So, there you go. Uh Two of my favorite of Sam's. Oh, well, there you go. See, again, Event Horizon, I can't get into it. I did not like it. And wow, I see a couple of message retracted. Um I wonder if I said something that made you retract it, or maybe you just said something that you were like, "Nah, that's I don't know." I always get curious, like what was said. Anyway, it's fine. We'll just leave it in the past where it belongs, right? But Glenn said that they said he beat cancer. Did it come back or was he ill from something else? I mean, I don't know if there's any. You know what? Let's see. Let me pull up the thing again. Um he died. It is with immense sadness of I'm now share the news of his months. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer free. They would like to express their deepest gratitude to the staff at St. Vincent's Private Hospital for their incredible care. More details will be shared later, but for now, on behalf of his family, we ask that you respect their privacy as they navigate this immeasurable loss. So there you go. So, no, it apparently was not cancer. My toys are cheaper, just saying. I mean, okay. Did you see the interview with Sam Neill where he was asked the question, what is the best lesson you learned from your parents? It caught him off guard and he choked up. His response was a tearjerker. No, I did not. But there were multiple little clips that people were sharing that you could tell that he had a very... it might make me tear up again. But like, you could tell that he had a very kind heart. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just a crazy thing, and and I mean, honestly, I mean, if you really want to be honest, it's not a crazy thing. Death is part of life. It's something that we will all experience. And some of us will be touched by it more than others. Other people's deaths, people that you care
That's
about.
fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Justin Yates has become a member. And yeah, that was effing Obi-Wan Kenobi. But well, thank you. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. I mean, even though, let's be honest, I haven't really done much for the members lately other than be like, hey, thanks for being a member. But anyway. But no, it's part of it. And it shouldn't really be shocking, because things happen, people get sick suddenly and it can just take you out. And, I mean, like me, when I went through my thing, it was like, I'm not feeling good for like a few months. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, like I could be dead in a week, and they saved me and things worked out. There were 3 years of torture after that, but I survived, and it's like, and then there's this like weird survivor's guilt that happens, but in a weird way, I was going to say, in a weird way, you see the best of people. You don't always see the best of people. But especially the people that were at the hospital. I mean, like, when they say we want to thank the hospital for their incredible care. I mean, I could spend hours talking about the level of care that I received through my 7 different surgeries. My I think it ended up being almost 2 weeks, 2 months in those 3 years that I spent in the hospital. Um, those people, there was really some amazing people. I mean, there were a handful, a very, very small, select few people that you could tell that they were going through stuff because it was like, you don't really, your bedside manner kind of sucks and you don't seem to be happy to be here. And I understand. I mean, what I'm going through sucks and you having to deal with that kind of sucks. But, you could at least try to show some, I'm going through it. You don't have to go through it. So you at least should at least be thankful about that, right? You know? But for the most part, man, the people were amazing. I mean, I got flowers from the anesthesia group in my at this they just said we just loved we were sorry to hear that he's been going through it and man, we wish him the best. And it was just like all I did was not be a dick, you know? And these people were just like they really they're just amazing people. So you work in the medical industry and you especially, nurses, doctors, man. Yeah. I definitely have a very, very, very high level of respect for you guys. Shozama said, I like Cesar Romero's Joker better than Heath Ledger. I mean, that's a choice. I mean, Cesar Romero's Joker is definitely closer to the version of the Joker that was in the comics at that time. And he's almost iconic in that way. And honestly, the character of the Joker has changed so many different ways in, I mean, especially if you read, some of the new 52 and stuff like that, that Joker is different than the previous Joker. And then Jared Leto's Joker is different from Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Jack Nicholson's Joker. I mean, we've had different variations of this same character. But to me, Heath Ledger, that is the Joker right there. Like, and again, that's also subjective because you could say, well, the Killing Joke version of the Joker is just one variation of the same character, but that's the one that really spoke to me and the one that made the most sense to me. And it's the one that, yeah, he was pulling from. And it was like, I've said this, I've told this story many times, but there were moments in the theater that I almost came out of my chair because it was just like seriously, like with excitement, almost standing up, like wanting to cheer, like I'm at a baseball game or, you know what I mean? Or one of the sports ball games, because it was like, this is the Joker that I've always wanted to see. And it's here. He's doing it. And now he's gone. And it was just like this level of elation, but sadness because it was like, God, Heath Ledger was awesome. Like, that portrayal is on a level that not many actors can get to. Just saying. But I appreciate that. I mean, Cesar Romero, I mean, for sure, iconic. It's not my favorite. Chris asks, top 3 in movie props I would love to have. Number 1, Sting from Lord of the Rings. Number 2, the Necronomicon. And number 3, the Ghostbusters Proton Pack. Wow. Okay. Let's think about this for a second. I would say, in no particular order, I would want the actual Glamdring. You've seen my Glamdring, right? Hold on. I'm not going to take it out of the box, okay? So just... Glamdring. Okay? I want the actual Glamdring. I'm just going to say, look, I love Tolkien, but Gandalf's my guy. Gandalf the Grey, Not so much Gandalf the White. I don't think Gandalf the White is as much fun as Gandalf the Gray. Uh, but I love Glamdring. It's always been kind of that mystical, amazing. Yeah, I want that. So his Glamdring, yeah. But then I would have to say, um, see, here's where it gets hard. Do you go for the Darth Vader lightsaber prop or the Luke from Return of the Jedi lightsaber prop? Which one do you go for? Or do you go from, you know, like what that is? That's basically the Obi-Wan prop based on the episode 3 version of his lightsaber, which ends up being his lightsaber in episode 4. Of course, I've already got that. So, and I don't know. But then I think of I can't remember the name of the gun from Blade Runner. I would want a pulse rifle from Aliens. I would want a let's see. Man, that's a great question though. Um I mean, if I could have seriously, one statue, big, life-size statue, it would be an alien from Alien, like the alien in Alien. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I would want that. I mean, gosh, there's so many. There's so many iconic. You know, uh there's so many great ones. But I'm gonna leave it there. That's some good ones. That's definitely some good ones. Close number 4, Paul Walker's car in the first Fast and Furious. I mean, so at Doomsday or Doom of Dune, still need to workshop the title. Well, I mean, that's what I don't remember who said it. Somebody said Doomsday, not Doomsday, Doom, but Doomsday, as in Dune 3, Doomsday. And I think there was an interview with Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland, and he said Doomsday, or maybe it may have been Robert Downey Jr. and Timothy Chalamet. I can't remember. Timothée Chalamet. Anyway, I'm looking forward to both of them, and it's hard for me to pick one because I know the basic storyline of what Dune 3 is going to be, and I feel like it's going to be very different from that story that I know. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. Doomsday, I'm incredibly excited because I'm a Marvel dork, right? I love my Marvel. I love my comics. I love my comic book movies. So there you go. Are you a fan of the show Justified, or is it to be put in the Deadwood, The Wire pile of shows Rob will avoid till he is 68 years old? But hashtag but. Justified is one of those shows that I have watched bits and pieces. It's good. I mean, of course, Walton Goggins, but Timothy Oliphant. Amazing. I love both of those guys. Like, I seriously love both of those guys. But there were things in it where I was like, okay, I'm not really crazy about this person. I don't think they're a very good actor, and they kind of bring the show down. And there were things in the show that I was kind of like, eh. But amazing actors, amazing performances, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to sit there and say that I've seen so many episodes, but my wife used to watch that show a lot, so I have seen it quite a bit. Justin Gates said Infinity Vision sounds like snake oil. No thanks. Boo. Well, it's literally just a way for them to try to market that, hey, I mean, they're not going to come out and say, hey, we don't have IMAX, but we have these great theaters too. It's just a marketing gimmick. And you should look at it that way and not worry about it. Like, for example, I don't have the 70 millimeter IMAX is about an hour 15 minutes from my house. Okay? I go there rarely. And when I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get tickets for the Odyssey in IMAX, I said, fine. I don't care about IMAX typically. I don't care about going to see a movie in IMAX anyway. I'd rather go to a Dolby Cinema. Or in this case, I'm just going to watch it at one of the Cinemark XDs where I'll be able to get tickets that actually make sense. Then later on, I'll try to catch it in IMAX later on in its run. That's how I look at it. So don't worry about the Infinity Vision thing. Don't worry about it. It's not a big thing. Justified is great. Walton Goggins is awesome in that show. Yes, absolutely. Insanely underrated. Elmore Leonard is the man. Great show. Walt, heck, 85% of the cast is outstanding, minus Rappaport. Yeah, Rappaport's one of those that he is up and down a little bit. Lou asked, you ever went down that YouTube rabbit hole of these multimillionaires showing off their collections, most of the size of warehouses, full of Star Wars, Hot Wheels, video games? No, and mainly it's because I think it's just, again, in some cases, it feels a lot like, honestly, a lot like Citizen Kane in a lot of ways, you know, where it's just people collecting things. And I'm like, does that really mean a lot to you? Like, does that really mean, oh no, it was cool, it was on sale, and it was really expensive? Like, I want things to really matter. And that's the problem with being so rich that it almost doesn't matter anymore, and you're just collecting things. Like, I want, like, for example, let's just say I won $1 million. Okay? I would not be that guy that would just go buy a Ferrari. Because that's 1/5 of my millionaire, or my $1 million gone. Like that. Or a quarter, depending. Or more. That's not what I would do. But I want I want the things that I surround my life with, I want them to mean something to me. And I want them to have value to me. I don't necessarily need them to be valuable to everyone else, but they need to have value to me. For example, all of this. Like, all of this has, I mean, I'll be honest, there's a lot of stuff in here that some of it I can just go, yeah, I can get rid of that. That's no big deal. But a lot of this stuff has meaning to me. Like that yellow book has meaning to me. It took me forever to find a copy of The Hobbit, school version, right? This right here. That's from the Nintendo in Japan. That wood got me. That means a lot to me. Of course, the Ghost Getter that Nop Top made, that sent to Billy. He sent it to Billy, and then Billy's wife gave that to me. That means a lot to me. The Ocarina of Time, that wood got me. I mean, honestly, this was from the first Retropalooza that I went to. So it's a 16-bit Zelda from Link to the Past. You know what I mean? Like, everything has a story, and it has meaning to me. I don't want it to be just like, I don't even remember where I got that. It's just a thing, and it was kind of expensive, and you know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So no, I don't typically watch that kind of stuff, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Rufus the Red said, Once Bitten is Jim Carrey's best movie. I forgot about Once Bitten. That might have been in the list of his poorest films. I didn't really care for. I mean, look, the movie's okay, and it's okay for that kind of mid-80s, you know, cheesy whatever. But come on, you're just saying that. You can't honestly believe that Once Bitten is his best movie. But anyway, all right, you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe you're like, dude, I'm the biggest Once Bitten fan on the planet. Own it, dude. Own it. Justin Gates said they are nuts. 100% they're nuts. As a small collector, those places freak me out and make me want to sell what I own. Yeah, see, and that's the thing too, is like any of the, like, here's my crib and here's all the stupid crap that I bought with the crazy deal that I made for this football team or what, you know what I mean? It's like, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you have and you're just showing it off. I don't know. I just don't care. I don't care. Now, me showing off, again, things that really don't have any, like a whole lot of value in and of itself, but it means something to me. That is important. To me, that is the more valuable. Again, it's subjective. It's weird. I'm more of a Dumb and Dumber and number 23 fan myself. Stop Fox. Number 23 was actually pretty good. Justin Yates said, watch Man on the Moon doc, then the film again. You may dig it. Carrie has done some weird C-rated horror films and some major flubs. Eternal has to be in my top 3. Never even heard of that. Lou said, Jay Leno's personal car garage has to beat 95% of the official car museums in America. Oh, no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And that's another one where, but see, the only thing that I'll say is that kind of reeks of that same, oh, I bought that and it was expensive. But he's a car guy. And I can guarantee you that he may not remember exactly where he bought it and how much he bought it for. But he can tell you the story of that car. And it's more historical to him. And it's a different story. Jay's, what, I don't remember what it's called. What is it called? Whatever the show was. That I can kind of understand. I've never been a huge Jay Leno fan though. So. Shazama said, Paprika and Inception both use technology in dreams. Don't want to go in depth of similarities. Just recommend getting it as a blind buy, blind watch. The 4K Steelbook is sold out, but available in 4K. Okay. 100% worth it. I'm going to go buy it right now. Well, guys, you're really, I mean, wow. Chris said his take on the Dr. Robotnik character in the Sonic movies is very good. He knew his role in those silly hedgehog films. Yeah. And I haven't seen a single one. Does that shock you? Sonic was never my thing, so I couldn't see myself getting behind it. But I keep seeing things from it, and it makes me go, I need to watch this someday. I just haven't gotten around to it. Booty boo, booty boo, boo, paprika. 4K, continue without disabling your ad blocker. Not currently available. I gotta be honest, man. If I had my way, I would never buy another Steelbook. I wish things just didn't come in. I wish things just came in standard packages. Number one, they get dented too easily. Number two, they get dirty and dusty and they get gross more easily. They show off the dust more easily. Number three, the discs are hard to get out. I could go on. But yeah, I'm not a huge, you know what? I didn't need to do that. I should just do this. I should just click on Just Watch. Excuse me. Just Watch. And just see if it's available to stream somewhere. I mean, I understand blind buy it, all that kind of stuff. I get it. Oh, it's on Tubi with ads. No, thank you. I am that guy. I will not, as much as I appreciate Tubi for what it is and the ability to get, a bunch of movies out for free and all that kind of stuff and watch ads, and that's fine. I would rather buy it. Is it really only $6.99 right now on Apple TV? In 4K Dolby Vision. Isn't that oh yeah, Satoshi Kon? Yeah, I need to see it. I just haven't yet. Just everybody calm down, simmer down, have a vape or, eat a fruit cup, whatever it is to calm you down. Everybody simmer down. All right. The anime that starts at the parade that's all messed up. Digital and Movies Anywhere. Some will have it available to see in Japanese or English dub, depending on the streamer with the same purchase. Yeah, that one looks like it's a. It's just like there's something that I watched recently that had both. Pretty sure it was on Adult Swim. I own the Blu-ray and 4K digital, no 4K UHD, sadly. AVP 2 had some great creature design. It really did. And that was, again, I got to talk to the guy that did the visual effects for like the scene that I remember in the movie. Like I don't remember a whole lot about that movie because it's not great. But the thing that I remember is there's a part where an alien gets killed and there's a guy on the ground looking up and the acid drops on his face and his face starts to almost like cave in with the acid burning through his face. He did that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like the scene that I remember the most, you know? Really cool to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to reach out to Yoshi too. I haven't heard from him either. I mean, everybody's busy. But yeah, it would be cool to just say, hey man, I just wanted to say hey and hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing good. Who was the biggest prima donna you interviewed? Had to be Leon, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. No, there wasn't really anybody that stuck out as being uh anything other than, you know, corralling people to a specific time. I will say that there was a person that I had to chase down multiple weeks to get them to be on the show. And it's just because that person is one of those people, one of those kind of squirrely people. I'm not going to name names, but no, honestly, there wasn't anybody super prima donna. It was just, dude, you just, come on, just commit. Just commit. Please. Can you just please tell me when you want to be on the show? And then it happened. So, but hello, Bucho, and good to see you, sir. Let's see, Bucho. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The rest of you who didn't say hi are now on a list. That's one of those things where I hope that people understand that especially like in Game Dave's chat, there's a lot of people that are just in there and they don't typically say the hi and the good nights and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate them just like I appreciate, you know, Justin or Ms. Moon or Filbert or Pixel or anybody else that happens to be in the chat at the same time that says hi to me. If I don't say hi to you, it doesn't mean I don't like you. Like for the most part, Adam Long isn't one of those people. And then I hope he doesn't think that I don't like him because I think Adam is hilarious and I think he's great. But anyway. But yeah, I think it's kind of funny that you say that. A list I wrote by hand and crayon on a piece of cardboard, then I put that list down my pants where it'll be safe. I mean, you're a hell of a tease, Bucho. Hell of a tease. It's 8:40 already. And there's no liquid, by the way. I honestly don't have any store-bought liquid left. Everything is already in tanks. You guys voted on them. The only one you didn't vote for is the one that you didn't vote for last week that I just put in a tank. So everything else has been purchased or everything else has been vaped or is in the process of being vaped. And then I don't know what I'm going to do because there were a bunch of sales over July 4th. And I was like, I don't want any of this stuff. Like a lot of this stuff that's on sale, I just don't care. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go back into DIY stuff again, because like I'm kind of tired of everything kind of okay, this is a pudding, but it's with vanilla and blueberry. Okay, well I can make that. You know, it's like I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know what phrase it is. I don't know what phrase it is exactly, but it kind of went, good health is easy to lose and sometimes hard to get back. Yeah. I'll tell you this, okay? I was in the absolute, there is no question in my mind, when I went into the hospital, I was in the best shape of my life. My resting heart rate was in the 40s. Uh, I weighed about 180 pounds. I had muscle that I didn't even know was possible. I could do handstands. I was doing all crazy mixed martial arts shit. I was able to kick above my head. Like, this is stuff for a fat dude I didn't think was possible. Because I was like 250 pounds the 6 months prior, right? I was doing shit that I could not even imagine doing. And then I had to learn after 3 weeks, 3 short weeks of being in the hospital and 3 surgeries. But I had to learn to walk again. My muscles atrophied so bad that I had to learn to walk again. And man, I got to tell you, the first time, like when I got home and the first time I took a shower and I got naked in front of the mirror, and of course I've got tubes hanging all over me, but I'm looking in the mirror and I looked like a skeleton. It is so easy for you to lose it. So appreciate it, you know? It's one of those things that, man, it's like it teaches you how petty we all are. We complain sometimes about the smallest, dumbest shit. Like, they didn't put ketchup in my bag. I have to eat French fries with the ketchup I have in my fridge. Big deal. Like, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of people in this country in particular, but I mean really everywhere. Everybody, they have levels of anguish and the things that they complain about. Like, I was sitting there complaining about I can't eat this. I can't eat this thing that you are able to enjoy. And then I think, "Oh yeah, there are people that got up today and were like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat it all today. I don't know if I'm going to go to prison for the color of my skin or the attire that I'm wearing." There are so many levels of that. So, maybe learn to appreciate a little bit. But that's the nature of humanity. It's just like, when people say, "Oh man, when I was 17 years old, man, life was great." Yeah. You can't go back and tell that 17-year-old and grab him by the shoulders and go, "Appreciate the great times that you're having right now. You'll never have it again." But you can't do that. You won't get it. You can't tell a kid, "Hey man, enjoy it while it lasts," because they don't know any better. They don't know how difficult life can be. In some cases, they'll never have a real difficult life. Oh my God, my battery died on me. I have to wait to text back my boyfriend, or whatever, right? And you're like, that's all you got? That's the travesty of the day? Really? You got it good. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm just saying, appreciate it. There are things that you learn going through something like that, or seeing a loved one go through something like that, and you go, "Wow, all of this shit is trivial." It's one of my favorite things about The Crow. Anyway, but he's more talking about how, you know, well, I don't want to go into that. That's some deep stuff. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is appreciate, don't worry. And you never know. I mean, one of the healthiest people I knew. I mean, you know the story. You know what Billy went through. And Glenn said, "Fun fact, Sam Neill was close to being James Bond." That is true. There's even screen test footage of him acting as Bond. I can't even imagine how awesome that could have been. But then again, I really love Timothy Dalton. But how long would Sam Neill have lasted? I mean, who knows? That's the thing, is that sometimes you hear about these, almost happens, or the woulda, coulda, and you go, I don't know. Like when you hear about, Will Smith almost got the part of Neo in The Matrix, and you're like, who knows? That could have been amazing, but we don't know. We'll never know. But I think Christopher Walken as Han Solo. Are you kidding me? That could have been amazing, but I don't know. We probably never would have gotten Indiana Jones in the same way. We could have gotten Tom Selleck, I guess. Or maybe not. It could have been somebody else. Could have been Richard Chamberlain. Who knows? And Chris, hats off to you, sir, for knowing the name of Glamdring. The Faux Hammer. See, every time I think of, what did it? That original Hobbit cartoon. Oh, this is Orcrist, the Goblin Cleaver. And Glamdring, the Faux Hammer. Keep them well. I will keep this in honor. I love that original cartoon. And if you want to be really if I have to be super honest with you right now, because this guy loves it when I'm honest. Okay? This guy. When I'm watching the Peter Jackson films, I can't help but go, cartoon did it better. It's hard. It's very hard. And that's one of those things I have to step back and go, I got to approach it. I got to get to this movie where it is. Not where it could be or should be even, but where it is. Anyway, what's up, Wesley? Good to see you, sir. I hope you're doing well. And Justin said, you got to stick with Certified. Certain seasons are hit or miss, but dear God, there's so many episodes that are intense. Last season, a great TV. Season 2 won a bunch of Emmys, etc. Elmore Leonard is a fantastic writer. Big reason why Tarantino kicked himself. He didn't do Justified. I didn't know that. I like the prequel series to Justified. It's called Seventh Heaven. No, I'm not sure if that's right. Just not sure. Is that why it's so chill? Where do you go? I don't know what that is. The answer is home, because that's where you'll find Seventh Heaven. Rufus, stop making jokes. You're in trouble? Oh. You never heard of Eternal Sunshine? What are you talking about? Of course, I own it. Did you make a reference earlier and I just didn't catch on to it? Not sure. For 4K. Thank you, Shozama. I don't know. Travis Scott has a rap song featured at the end credits of the Odyssey. Just seems like a strange choice for a movie like this. I mean, true, but I don't know about you, but I don't watch movies for the end credits. Like that. I mean, I don't care. I don't care about that. I honestly, like everything that I've heard so far, I'm like, okay, that's a thing that's a sticking point for you, but I don't really care. And the thing is, and this is really important. It's something that that has been said in many different places, honestly. It's that every version of the Odyssey or the Iliad or anything like that, yeah, you can try to present it like it's a historical thing, but it's not. It's literally a story that people have done adaptations over the hundreds of thousands of years or however long it's been, right? So you can do it like you do Shakespeare, where multiple different races of people can play different parts, multiple, I mean, gosh, in the old Shakespeare days, there were no women actors. They were all men. So it's just one of those things where I don't care. Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann version, they're singing, modern songs. And some people look at that and they go, that's absolute trash. And there are other people that are like, no. This is a version of this story in today's world. I'm not going to sit here and say that I love Baz Luhrmann's version of Romeo and Juliet, but I can appreciate it. And there are things about it that I like. Honestly, it was that way with Moulin Rouge too, because Moulin Rouge is based on the, oh, it's the Moulin Rouge from the 18s, whatever, somewhere in the 1800s in France, and they're singing, Roxanne and stuff. But I found it brilliant. I loved it. So I don't know. I just don't think that something that's based on a fictional story that's already been done multiple different ways. This is Christopher Nolan's take on it. There you go. Just like The Dark Knight Rises was his take on the Batman universe. And I walked out of that movie the first time. I walked out of The Dark Knight Rises pissed off. Pissed off. I hated it. I was so mad. The movie did not work for me. It was the part where Alfred basically quits. Spoiler alert, I guess. Alfred quits in The Dark Knight Rises and basically tells Bruce Wayne, I'm not doing this anymore. Because of a choice that Bruce made. And I was sitting there going, Alfred doesn't quit. Alfred disagrees with a lot of things that Bruce Wayne has done over the years in comics or whatever, but he's never quit. This is bad. This is bad. I don't like it, and I'm done. I waited a couple of days, went back in, watched the movie again, and just said, okay, let's think about this. Like, this is Christopher Nolan's version from beginning to end. This is what a Batman in real life would be like, and this is his version, his take on the character and this all the lore and all that kind of. Let's meet the movie where it is. Not where it should be or could be or might be, but where it is. And I did that and came out of it going, that movie's brilliant. I loved it. I mean, sure, there are problems with it, but that's the thing with any movie. You have to meet the movie where it is. And this is definitely a more modern. It's kind of like the Odyssey through the eyes of Christopher Nolan, through his lens. And sure, it can be anything. It can be any kind of person playing any kind of part. But I want to see what he's got. And it might be 100% for me. I might come out of there and I might come in here and sit down and go, if you don't like this movie, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? Or I seriously don't think this could happen. But I could come home and go, this movie is awful. This movie is the worst. This is terrible. But I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. And art hits people different ways. So I don't know. Anyway. Have a vape or a fruit cup. I mean, just all I'm trying to say is, everybody calm down. That's all I'm trying to say. Bring back Toys R Us. I mean, right? My kids have no idea how awesome it was to walk in there as a kid. I mean, you're right. Muffler flavor would be awesome. And food is fuel for the body. I mean, you're not wrong. But what? Oh, for $55. The paprika. I gotcha. I just finished Endurance, amazing book. Basically, in 1915, some explorers were stranded in Antarctica for 2 years. Really shows most people problems aren't shit. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like there's so many people that don't realize how good they've got it, until it's gone. Did I ever tell you I bought Anduril at the pawn shop when I went back for Glamdring and Sting? They were gone. Oh, you got Anduril for $55? Okay, Shozama. No, you didn't, but that's awesome. That is super freaking cool. Super freaking cool. I love it. I love stories like that. Okay. I don't know if I need, there was a point where I was like, okay, now that I have Glamdring, I need Anduril. I need the shards of Narsil. I need Sting. I need Gimli's hammer or axe. Doesn't he have a hammer at one point? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I need his axe. I need Legolas's bows and his little knives, and I need all the stuff. I need all the things. And then I was like, no, I really don't need all things. But hey, let's get into the other stuff. I did want to bring this up. Again, I talked about Comic-Con earlier. There might be some news. But there was some news that this little movie This is the first official artwork. This is concept art of Avengers Doomsday. This is not a poster. This is not 100% representative of what we're going to see in the movie, but that is the design of Doom and of everyone else that you can see in the movie there. So of course you've got Thor, you got Steve Rogers, you got Ant-Man, you got the Thunderbolts there, you got, and this is I didn't realize that and maybe I knew this and maybe I didn't, but I knew that we were going to get some X-Men, but I didn't realize Mystique was going to be in it, or Nightcrawler. So Mystique is Rebecca Romaine. I didn't realize that. Of course, Nightcrawler, Gambit, Beast, and then, Magneto and Professor X. Of course, you got the Fantastic Four up there with their hot new jackets. You got Falcon and I guess Captain America and Falcon, I guess is their official names now. You got Shuri, and then M'Baku, and then Shang-Chi there. There's nobody under, like, I'm not blocking anybody right now. If you don't believe me, here's the full image. But yeah, this was the official artwork. This is concept art. It's not, again, this is not what the poster is going to look like. But along with this image, or I think maybe a day later, we got the news that Avengers Doomsday tickets for those Infinity Vision theaters, so basically premium format theaters, are going on sale Monday. So July 20th, tickets will go on sale. So 3 days before Comic-Con, we're getting the first ticket sales for Doomsday, which should also mean that we get a trailer around the same time. I don't know if they're going to save it for Comic-Con, and save it so that they can like show it for the first time to Comic-Con and then release it. I don't know. But the tickets go on sale for premium format screens on Monday. The running time for Avengers Doomsday is 2 hours and 46 minutes. So there you go. Now I got to be honest, man. I look at this and there's a lot of people that I saw online that looked at this and they said, "Man, Marvel's lost it." And I'm like, what? Like, I look at this and I go, I can't wait. I mean, I can, because, again, that's, why can I not think of the term for basically over exaggerating? Exaggerating, I can't remember the term. I'm going blank. Anybody know the term? Someone help me. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is I can wait, and I will wait. But I'm very excited for Doomsday. And for Dune 3, obviously, because I'm a huge Dune fan too. But yeah, tickets go on sale starting Monday. And then I wanted to bring up that there was a poster release. And there's an official synopsis, but I'm not going to read it because I haven't read it. And I don't want to spoil anything. Like, I don't want to know anything about the movie. Hyperbole. Thank you. Not Samsonite, but very close. Very close. Thank you, Bucha. Spaceballs, the new one, the first official poster was released, and it just made me laugh, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. So there you go. There's Spaceballs. Now, this doesn't come out until, it just says only in theaters 2027. So there's that. I thought it was funny. So there you go. And then, of course, one of the biggest trailer releases this week was for Digger, showing Tom Cruise in this role. And I'm just going to say, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I really think you need to. Because this isn't the kind of movie that you can just have explained to you in a synopsis and it makes sense. I think you need to see what this trailer's about. I'm going to move this because I don't feel like it's in front of my face. I think you need to see the trailer. I mean, you might be just say, you know what? I don't want to see the trailer because it's Inarritu and it's Tom Cruise, and that's all I need. Is it Iñárritu? Iñárritu? I don't know how to say his name properly. Alejandro G. Inarritu. Iñárritu. Anyway, great filmmaker, great actor. It's got John Goodman. It's got, dude, there's Sandra Hüller's in it. I'm very excited to see this movie, and I don't really know exactly what it's going to be like. A lot of people have said, and it's probably the most obvious sort of similar movie is Doctor Strangelove. I also feel like this movie could go either way, in that it could be like super like preachy. And man, you got to have a deft hand when you're doing that. So we'll see. But Digger, the trailer was released. Very, very interesting. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I did want to mention that on Friday, the season finale of Star City aired on Apple TV Plus. I've said it before. I'll say it again. For All Mankind is a great show. And if you haven't seen For All Mankind, you really need to see it. Because For All Mankind tells the story of the space race where in this alternate universe, the Russians beat us to the moon. That's all you need to know about For All Mankind. If that sounds interesting, and then it basically extrapolates over the years what would happen and how would it affect America? How would it affect Russia? How would it affect the space race in general? How would it all those things all the way past today? So it's really cool and I love it. I think it's great. Star City tells the story of it's basically the location in Russia where the space program started. Now what Star City is it's more like because it's Soviet Russia. So it's intrigue and secrets and man, basically it was rough to live in Russia back then. And seeing this, it's almost like a spy thriller, less about, I mean, it is, of course, the space race is part of it for sure, but it's really interesting because this is from the Russians' point of view. And I thought, I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know if I need to see that. It's awesome. It's really great. So I would highly recommend that you start with For All Mankind and then go to Star City. But man, great show. I will honestly say that I was a little bit underwhelmed by the season finale. But if you said, hey, next year we're getting Star City season 2, I'm like, I'm in, because the show's great. So there you go. There's Star City. Then I just had a wild, I think in the South, they called it getting a wild hair. I don't know. All I'm saying is I didn't want to immediately continue with the digital watch list that I told you about, maybe, if you remember. So there was about 120 digital movies that I've purchased over the years that I've never seen. And so I put them in order from IMDb score, best to worst, and I started at the bottom. So I'd been watching some of these really, honestly, these are movies that I own that are bad. They're bad, okay? But I decided that I wanted to see, there was like, I thought of a movie and I was like, you know what? I haven't seen that in a long time. I want to see that movie. So I put it on. Oops, that's Star City. I watched Interstellar again. Heard of this one? This one's also from Christopher Nolan. But I will say, yeah, it's pretty good. And this is one of those, okay, there's a lot of people that think that Interstellar, or that they basically maintain that Interstellar is their favorite Christopher Nolan film. Okay? I totally get it. I totally understand it because it hit you in the same way that Inception hit me. Like a lot of people, they go, "Really, Inception is your favorite Christopher Nolan movie?" I'm like, "Hell yeah. Dude, Inception is so good. I love that movie so much." This one, it's not as good to me. It's not as good as Inception. And why is that? Why do I say that? Well, a lot of the science involved is stuff that I already knew. And a lot of it was stuff that I'd already thought about. And there were things about the movie that I really appreciated, especially the attention to detail and the visuals and things like that. The movie's fantastic. Okay? The movie is good, but it's not my favorite. And it's the same with, and I know, here's another one. Here's another one that people are going to go, "What? You don't think it's his best movie ever?" Arrival. Denis Villeneuve's Arrival. I like the movie, but it's not the best. It's not even close to my favorite Villeneuve movie. Not even close. I like Prisoners more than Arrival. But that's the thing. Movies can hit you, and they can hit you hard, and it you almost get an emotional response from someone saying that you don't like it. I understand that. But to me, Interstellar and Arrival are both good. But they're not the best of either director. That's just my opinion. Sicario's better than Arrival. But anyway, Interstellar was good, and it was actually the first time that I'd watched it in 4K off of my 4K, my Nolan collection. It's the first time I'd ever watched it off of that disc. So I was very pleased. I was very pleased with it. The next film that I watched was the next movie in my my digital list. The next one. I'd never seen this. Roland Emmerich, and the main star of the movie is John Cusack. Amanda Peet plays his ex-wife. Donald Glover plays the president of the United States. Tandy Newton plays his daughter. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays from Backrooms. And also my favorite movie of last year, The Life of Chuck. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Anyway, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Did I say Donald? Comic book, Craig, you're right. Danny Glover. I don't know why. Donald Glover is, of course, Childish Gambino. I know that. That happens to me all the time. I do that all the time. Danny Donald. Hey, I was close. Danny Glover. You're right. Absolutely. I apologize. Rob, you really weren't close at all. I know. It was a mistake, and I do that all the time. I do that all the time. So anyway, it's got a lot of people in it, okay? This movie wasn't great. But it's kind of fun. I know. But it was kind of fun. Oliver Platt, too. Oliver Platt is one of those character actors that I think is just really, I know he's probably not underrated. He's probably rated like exactly where he should be, but I love Oliver Platt. Okay? He kind of plays a little bit of a dick in this movie. But again, this was kind of a fun movie. It was just kind of fun to watch things get wrecked. Did it make sense? Not really. Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson. His role was Ooh. So anyway, was it great? No. Was it fun to watch? Yeah, it kind of was. Um, so hopefully, like, things will keep getting better. I'm in the sixes, by the way. So now we're in the 6.0 rated on IMDb and up. So, so there you go. The next movie on the list. Now, I will say that if it shares the same score, it's whatever order it was. So it's not like I did these like alphabetically or anything like that. If it's all 6.0s, okay, if that makes sense. But the next movie is called Anzio. Anzio? 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 It's a World War II film that was fine. I mean, like, literally, there's nothing really wrong with it, but it was also kind of just there. Like, I didn't feel anything watching it. I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. So it's Robert Mitchum and Peter Falk are the two stars of the film. Robert Mitchum plays a correspondent, war correspondent. Peter Falk is a part of the Canadian, a U.S. war correspondent. Robert Mitchum, by the way. Peter Falk plays a Canadian, whatever their special. Anyway, he's basically helping to lead this group of U.S. soldiers, and Robert Mitchum is basically along to document it. Well, they get attacked, and something like 700 and something people died, and it was all because the whoever was in charge of the operation basically got cold feet and didn't attack when they should have. So it basically gave the Germans a chance to basically fortify. It may sound like I'm giving away the story, not really. Okay, because most of it is basically them, whoever the survivors are, trying to get out of there. It's not a great movie. It was like one of those where I'm like, all the pieces are there, but it just doesn't really come together. And then the theme song is so freaking out of place. And it's very this was one of those where it's what, 1969 I think is when this movie came out. I could be wrong. Close to there. But it's got a very Italian feel to it. There's a lot of Italian actors in it. And of course, it takes place in Italy, and Dino De Laurentiis is the producer. So an early Dino film that I'd never seen before. So of course, I was interested in watching it because of that, but alas, not so great. And then I watched the 4th episode of House of the Dragon. I gotta say, this show is, like, to me, this is so above and beyond Game of Thrones to me. Like, I find this more captivating. And I think what it is, and again, there's people that are going to disagree with me, but for me, the reason that I like it so much is because it's a more focused story. There's not 12 different stories, from all different parts of the country being told. There's like 3 plots. So it's easier to follow and it's more focused. And I like that. I don't like that I have to get a glossary of names to figure out who is on screen right now. That's the way it felt like with Game of Thrones, which is part of the reason why I didn't care so much. Like, I just watched the thing. Oh yeah, it was fun to watch. I just didn't think about who was related to who and, whatever. And, oh, he said something back in season 2. I didn't care about any of that. I just watched the show, right? This one, I can follow everything, and maybe it's because I'm a simpleton. You can say that, sure. But I think this is more focused, and I think it's a better story. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. But it was also, if I'm not mistaken, the first time that we saw the character of, this didn't work. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't in the right place. The character of Daeron Targaryen. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. It's the first time I'd ever seen him do anything. And you might be like, well, I don't know who that is. That's the guy that's playing Link in The Legend of Zelda. So if you're interested in seeing the acting of the dude is going to be played Link, there you go. He's in House of the Dragon, starting in episode 4. Did I say season 4? Season 3, episode 4. And I like I said, I love the show. So there you go. So, Hot D action. I love it. I love it. It's great. And then finally, I saw The Sixth Day. Speaking of Michael Rappaport, God, this movie's a mess. An absolute mess. It is all over the place. Definitely some enjoyable parts in it, but man, the CG is dodgy. It's definitely of the time. And I will say that I attempted to enjoy the movie on those terms. And to a certain extent, I did. But it's not a good movie, okay? And it's definitely not Minecraft. So, welcome, Benny. Good to see you, sir. But yeah, so not a big fan of The Sixth Day. I'm just being honest with you, like I do. So there you go. That's all the stuff that I watched this week. You might be like, well, what did you fill up the rest of your time with? Well, we ended up selling April's vehicle and getting a new one. She basically got the same car but a different color and a newer car. So it's basically the same car. So whatever. It's a Jeep. But anyway, that took a lot of time. But also I've been trying to get better with my back. And honestly, I feel like last week I think it may have started with the Tuesday physical therapy session. I felt like I'm making a difference. Thursday, a little better. And then today, they kicked my ass today. But I feel pretty good. And I'm not as sore sitting here as I was. And honestly, I'm able to raise my leg up and it doesn't hurt that much. So I'm really excited that I'm really, really, really making progress with my back. So yeah, that's all the news I have and all the things. So, take that. Anyway, so let's get caught back up. I did a refresh, so now I know where the chat left off, and I see that Shozama said that he would like to get the Horn of Gondor. I mean, look, man, there's, especially from those movies that, you love, that I love, whatever, I would love to own all of them. But the gun from Blade Runner, are you kidding me? Dude, freaking Deckard's gun? I want that. I totally want that. I want the freaking again, like the pulse rifle. I want that. Dude, I'm going to tell you, one of the things, and I know that Avatar is not everybody's favorite thing or whatever, but I'm telling you, man, when I was at Disney and seeing all the stuff, it really makes you kind of emotional and it makes you feel like you're kind of in the world. Dude, that's one of the things about, like, I get it when somebody says, oh man, Disney's whatever. I'm just telling you, I had a great time and I really loved that experience. And the design of the stuff in Avatar is so freaking cool. So freaking cool. So, anyway. Hyperbole. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Maybe it's because it's not an everyday word. But yeah, hyperbole. That's a thing. We tend to, I think we as a species, mountains out of molehills, we're constantly just, it's almost like levels of comfort. And if everything is not just pitch perfect, it's like we want to complain. But there's, like I said, there's so many things that we take for granted. I mean, if you're watching this stream, means you have internet, you have, You have internet, so you're probably doing okay. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that everything you're going through isn't bad or you know, it's not worthy of worrying about or anything like that. But I mean, it's one of those things where some people don't have it that great, you know? And that's a weird thing to believe. Like I was sitting there with basically this sponge in a wound that was open being closed up by a a piece of machinery called a wound vac that basically sucks the wound closed. I've got an IV that's giving me all the nutrition that my body requires because I can't eat because there's so much damage in my abdomen. And I'm still sitting there going, like it took me a while. It took me a while to realize it. But I went, it could be worse. It could be worse. Like I remember one of the things that I think I've told this story before too, but I was sitting there and I'm watching TV and a St. Jude commercial comes on. And it made me go, I'm not saying I got it perfect, but there's somebody who has it worse than me. They have to basically grow up in a hospital because they're so sick. It's like, and 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 I think that the idea of just, I'm not saying that everybody, this might be getting too political here. Hashtag no politics. But it's like, man, when I feel like if you hear about somebody in trouble and you're able to help, you should help. If there's something that you're able to do to help, you should probably help a little bit. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Is that political? Is that too political to say? I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about that lately. And I don't know why. And maybe it's because, you know, I'm sitting here going, oh, my back hurts while I'm eating freaking Oreos and, you know, it's like, yeah, my back hurts a little bit. Who cares, you know? And I'm not, you know, setting up a GoFundMe, but I'm just saying that there's, you know, maybe you could, you know, help some people out there. That's what I try. I try. I try. I'm not perfect, but you know, it's just something I think about a lot. I think I look at around this room and go, yeah, I got it pretty good, you know? Anyway, Lou said, my comic knowledge isn't that great. Is Doctor Doom that powerful to take on all of these heroes alone? Lou, I got to be honest with you. The only thing that I know about Doctor Doom is, I mean, I know very little, but I do know that they are, he is like, he is friends of the Fantastic Four. He knows them. And I'm pretty sure it's going to get bad. So, I'm excited, man. I'm excited because and I think part of it too is that, you know, you keep hearing every now and then somebody will release the entire, like somebody released the entire freaking, basically the sonata, that like beat, almost beat for beat what happens in the movie. And it made people more excited. Like they're like, I can't wait to see this. So I'm hearing that gets me really excited because if these people are comic book fans and they're super excited to see it, even though I don't know a whole lot, I'm still, because honestly, the thing is Fantastic Four never appealed to me ever. It just it was like it felt like a product of an earlier time. Felt like, you know, grandpa's, you know, superheroes or whatever, you know. To me, I was always big into the X-Men. I was big into Spider-Man. So I never really read any of the Fantastic Four stuff. Now, every now and then they would pop into a, you know, a series or a run that I was reading, but for the most part, I wasn't a big fan. But I knew that Doctor Doom he's big bad. You know, he's definitely one of the big bats. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I've said this before. Many people have said this before, but really, every IP out there is one good movie away from being all the way back. You know, like for example, if Starfighter comes out, Star Wars Starfighter next year, I mean, who knows? Sean Levy directing, Ryan Gosling's in it, Amy Adams is in it. If that movie comes out and kicks our asses, and you go, oh my god, this movie was great. Guess what? Star Wars is back on top. I think Doomsday has the chance to really put Marvel back in the driver's seat again, and especially maybe after uh after Supergirl stumbled, which again, very upsetting. Very upsetting to me. I was really rooting for that movie. But we'll see. And Bucho said, I'm mostly with you. The Matt Damon bit of Interstellar rules so hard though. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There, like I said, there are moments in Interstellar that are amazing. But to call it his best, or it's the best sci-fi movie ever, and I'm like, I mean, it's good, but ever? Like there's a lot. I don't know if there's been a movie more memed to death like Interstellar. I mean, yeah, but I never really picked up on a lot of that stuff because I saw Interstellar right after it came out and then basically never watched it again. So this was my second time seeing the movie. And the thing is I'm sitting there and I'm going and I'm like, I get why this speaks to people. Because especially if you weren't aware of some of the science beforehand, this could really like break your brain in the best way. You know what I mean? And it's one of those that just, oh man, I can see it. I can see why people love this movie so much. But I'm like, it's good. But I had my brain broken earlier. You know what I mean? So we're just kind of like playing the same game here. It's like, oh yeah, Christopher Nolan's heard about that too. Interesting. Oh yeah, time dilation. I got it. Oh, that's really, really cool. Oh, basically, time as a what do you call it? As a physical, like how do you display that you experience time all at the same time? How do you do that visually? Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Really cool. Like, I mean, that's it. It's like, yeah, it's cool. But I don't know. Sorry about the Danny Glover, Donald Glover. I'm sure. I mean, damn, 2012, remember, saw it at the theater, was worth the $2 in cheap hot dog and popcorn night specials. Fun time, have with friends. Exactly, Shozama. Yeah, I can see that movie being like the Independence Day of the time. Same director. But like to sit there and go, yeah, I had a fun time with that. Is it goofy? Is it stupid? Yeah, but it was fun. Like, I get it. Yeah, Oliver Platt is always fun. Oliver Platt in Executive Decision. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that in a while. By the way, Comic Book Craig, have you been here before? I think you have. Maybe. Maybe. But you love X-Men? I do choose my own adventure. I do. I love the X-Men. Yeah. Man, dude, that Ultimates run with the Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, dude, I love those. And of course, because of that, I also bought, I think at this point I was buying digital comics. Or no. At the time I had that, what is that, Marvel Unlimited, where I read run after run after run after run after run. All the like a lot of the classic runs of different X-Men stories and Spider-Man stories, Civil War, and dude, all of those I read on Marvel Unlimited and just really, really enjoyed them. But they didn't hit the same way that to me the Ultimate series did. Because the Ultimate series was basically, hey, all of these years of lore that we have, let's just start over. Let's start over. Let's reboot it. But we're going to tell these stories in a new way, in a more modern way, with modern art, which I really appreciate. And I just loved it. I really dug it. So, yeah. Uh I don't know why I went into that. There's zero possibility a man would stay in that space station 20 plus years alone. Worst part of the movie. Oh, I don't know, man. Uh, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are very well, number one, he was dedicated to go up into space and basically, you know, it's a one-way ticket, probably. You know what I mean? It's like that takes a special kind of person. But then the other kind of thing, he even mentions that he didn't want to sleep the rest of his life away, which I thought was kind of neat. I thought that was a really cool line. I get what you're saying though. But I mean, look, I mean, you could take all that time to learn, to read. I mean, seriously, like, I mean, if I could just say, hey, you know what? All I got to do today is read this book. I'd be like, fuck yeah. I like that shit, you know? I love doing that. But anyway. Hey, just going back all the way to the Sam Neill comments. If you haven't seen it, watch The Dish. I've never seen The Dish. What is The Dish? One second, please. I say 1 second. 2000. A remote Australian community populated by quirky. Oh boy, I can't show that because the weird man. There are so many studios that have blocked my stream because I showed only this part of the trailer. Dude, a remote Australian community populated by quirky characters plays a role in the first Apollo moon landing. Dude, I'm in. I'm in. I am so in. That ish. Oh, I remember seeing the cover art for this. Okay, it's apparently only available on DVD. I'm just see if the Dish Blu-ray. Nope. Interesting. By the way, I asked the question in the Discord. There it is. I asked the question in the Discord if anybody had watched the series called The Thunderbirds. And only a couple of people said something. Bucho said that he did watch it. If you don't remember the Thunderbirds show, it was well, this is it. So it's kind of like what Team America was based on. Inspired by, I should say. This set is so freaking cool. I was recommended a video about this, and I looked at this set and was like, dude, that set is awesome. I remember watching this show as a kid. So it kind of took me on a trip and to the Jerry Anderson website where the only place that this is available. It's $150 for this set. But this includes all of the, like, everything in Blu-ray quality, and the last two and a half discs are making ofs and interviews and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's a fan and would like this, but this thing is freaking cool. And I've seriously gone back and forth many times going, I don't even remember the show. Like, I remember liking it, but what happened was I watched the first 2 episodes on YouTube. The whole series is available on YouTube. I started watching a couple of them and was like, okay, this is mid-60s storytelling. It's cheesy as hell, but I'm blown away by the the intricacies of the set design, the the marionettes themselves, the all of the models being used, everything has to be like everything that you're seeing on screen is manufactured. So the background, all the signs on the wall, the the leather in the seats that they sit in, everything has to be figured out and designed and made. So I was kind of blown away by that. But anyway, so yeah, if you're interested, it's at Jerry Anderson, GERRY Anderson.com. You can get the whole series and anything else that Jerry Anderson made back in the day. But anyway, let's move on. The Dish, though, I'm gonna keep my eye out on that because it's Sam Neill, and I absolutely remember that cover art, which is that I remember that cover art. So there you go. Watch The Dish starring Stan. That puts you in the middle of the moon landing. Yeah, I'm all about it. All about it. 95% of Arnie's films, you were always guaranteed to be entertained. Yeah, I mean, you're right, but man, that movie just did not come together for me. To me, that's like Eraser, which just got a 4K release. Eraser is another one of those movies where I was just kind of like, I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's really dumb. Like a lot of his movies are just, they're just, I mean, but that's okay. In a lot of cases, just dumb fun is enough. But I like his great movies. I like Predator. You know? I like Terminator and Terminator 2. Like really, really badass stories. Really well done stories. Red Heat, Commando. I'm sorry, they're just not for me. They're too goofy. But that's just me. A pulse rifle is a must-have, and the motion tracker. The motion tracker would be cool. Oh, Mike's Film Fix. That's an interesting one. So what do we think of this new Nightmare on Elm Street movie announcement? The thing that blows my mind is that it's basically using the same shooting script that Wes Craven used for the original Nightmare. So it's like Psycho. You're just going to remake it shot for shot? Beat for beat? I have 3 words to say to you. It's a question. It's a 3-word question. But why though? Oh yeah, money. But like when I heard that, I was kind of like, the thing is, just like all of these, I mean, a lot of these, classic movies that have been like, oh, we're going to do reboots or we're going to do remakes or whatever. Not a whole lot of them have done well. One movie really kind of sticks out to me, Top Gun Maverick. That's the one where it came out and was like, wow, that actually did really well. Okay, Beetlejuice did well. I mean, it didn't blow the doors off the multiplexes, but it definitely did okay. But like a lot of the, and then you've got the guy that made Backrooms. No. Is it Backrooms or is it the other guy? I can't remember who it is. I should just look it up so I'm not wrong. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Curry Barker. So Curry Barker is going to remake the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the guy that directed Obsession, $750,000 budgeted movie, picked up for $15 million and has now made over 400, I don't know where it is now, but over $400 million globally, is now going to remake the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Like, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. And this is across the board. You can disagree with me if you like. But to me, if you're going to do any movie in any IP, okay? Star Wars, Star Trek, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever, or Nightmare on Elm Street, what's the story? What's the draw? What have you got to say that you have to say that in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre story or genre or whatever? You know what I mean? Or that whole thing. Nightmare on Elm Street. What is it about Nightmare on Elm Street that speaks to kids or speaks to the people of today? Because really, when you think about it, the reason that Backrooms and Obsession are so popular right now is because it speaks to the younger generation. What does the younger generation care about Nightmare on Elm Street that makes you say, we got to make that? What about the younger generation looks at Texas Chainsaw Massacre and says, I can't wait to see that? Right now, the draw for that would be Curry Barker. The idea that somebody is going to make a Nightmare on Elm Street remake based on the same script that Wes Craven did back in 1984? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't see any point in that. I honestly don't see a point. I could be completely wrong. And I would love to be wrong. Dude, the original, like, I'm not a horror fan. I think most of you guys know I'm not a horror fan. But that original Nightmare on Elm Street is badass. I've almost purchased the 4K set just so I can have the set of movies because I'm that kind of dork. But also because I get to have the original Nightmare on Elm Street in 4K. And I also really like New Nightmare. I know New Nightmare's not the best, but I like it. I like it. So it's one of those weird things. I see this and I go, like, at first I was like, okay, Paramount gonna remake Nightmare on Elm Street. Interesting. You gonna have any budget for it since it sounds like you're gonna be in extreme mountains of debt because of this Warner Brothers thing? Anyway, so okay, well, I wonder what the take is. And then when I hear, I heard this today that the Nightmare on Elm Street movie is based on. They basically said we're gonna use Wes Craven's original shooting script to make the movie. And I'm like, what about that speaks to the kids of today? The reason that horror movies make money is because it speaks somehow to the younger generation. In fact, John Campea did a whole breakdown of a bunch of the the classic movies, the Halloween movies and all that, and how well they did. And none of them like broke $200 million. And it's like, these aren't speaking to the kids of today. Backrooms, Obsession, that's where and it's new ideas. It's new ideas that speak directly to them. What about Nightmare on Elm Street makes kids of today say, I got to see that? But you're also going to take his 42-year-old script and make your movie based on that? It sounds like a mistake to me. But I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. 6th Day was when Arnold's movie career really started going downhill. I mean, you're not wrong, Lou. You're not wrong. Oh crap, it sounds like the thing they used in Prometheus to get the alien out. Wait, so you were like the chicken Prometheus that went into that pod, but the pod was only for men, but it didn't matter anyway? Wait. Oh, you're talking about all this? No. No, it's basically, it's called a wound vac. You can look it up. I wouldn't recommend looking at the pictures because some of that stuff can get pretty graphic. But basically what it does is, because I had so much damage internally, the wound vac basically leaves the wound open, but so basically, if you can imagine my body, right? And then there's basically this big section it's just meat, right? And they put this sponge in here, and then they use this tape with a hole in it that goes to a tube, and this machine sucks the wound closed. And the sponge, what happens is, and this is pretty graphic, okay? You ready? You ready for this? It's getting late, but I'm just explaining how it works. The new growth grows to the sponge as it's being sucked closed, right? And then every 2 days, you have to change that sponge out, and it gets smaller and smaller until the wound is closed. It's very painful to have that removed and re-put in and all that kind of stuff, but we won't get into that. It's super cool technology. For me, it was absolutely the only way that they could do it because of my Crohn's. My Crohn's was attacking everything. My Crohn's was out of control. And so what would happen is the growth would, I mean, the way that everything was growing together, it was not working. So they couldn't seal me up because then I would get infected inside because of the Crohn's. So they had to do it that way. And it basically made the recovery a lot longer. But I'm here, so I can't really complain too much. But it was rough, man. It was a rough go. But it was, dude. I watched Prometheus while I was going through all this, and I'm like, holy crap. And when she's getting up and running around, I'm like, I mean, I wasn't running, but I was walking minutes after I woke up. Like, it looks crazy when you're seeing the movie, but I was doing that stuff, and I had, seriously, I can't really show you, but so like here's the bottom of my rib cage, and then it goes all the way back down past my belt line. That's how long. That's how deep that incision went, all the way down there. And again, I'm not even sealed up, and this stuff is sucked closed, and I'm doing laps around the hospital wing. I did that stuff. It's crazy. But anyway, that was really weird that y'all both said pretty much similar stuff. Anyway, I have zero excitement for any Marvel or DC stuff besides Deadpool, Wolverine. Avengers Endgame was the last superhero film I saw in the theater. I mean, I get it. But again, I think it's not about, like, a lot of people have said comic book fatigue. I get it. But I honestly think that every IP is just one good movie away from being back on top. But you've got to change. You can't go off of an algorithm that tells you what people might want. You know what I mean? You got to take some risks. Jody B, welcome, sir. My favorite Christopher Nolan movie is The Prestige for sure, followed closely by The Dark Knight, although The Dark Knight isn't my favorite Batman movie. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, there is absolutely no Batman movie that I've watched more than The Dark Knight. I can tell you that right now. And I've watched that, the slaughter is the best medicine. I've seen that whole scene countless times because it sounds great in there. 5.1 surround. Oh my God. Not sure if you addressed this in your video, in your Citizen Kane video. Was it a full theater and were there all ages or mostly older folks? That's a great question, and I did not answer that. I was actually kind of surprised at how full it was, but it was kind of all over the place. I had like a guy around my age, a couple of seats down, who wouldn't stay off his phone. There were some older people, but there were people of all ages. There was like a family there behind me. Almost the whole back row was filled. There was two guys who were like, I would say younger than me, but they looked like movie dorks. Okay. I mean, I can smell my own. Okay. They look like movie dorks. And it was funny because they were taking a picture of the marquee, or the, Theater 8, Citizen Kane, right? But it blocked off the E. And as I walked by and I said, "You guys ready for Citizen Kane?" Because the E was gone. And they laughed. Ah, ha, ha. And then I went in and I sat down and I said, "Okay, everybody shut the hell up." And I kept looking at the guy on his phone the whole time. I'm like, why are you, like, I didn't say anything, but I was sitting here going, seriously? In a movie from 1941, you're going to sit here and play on your phone? Get off the freaking phone. Anyway. The puppet show, the Thunderbirds, yes. But anyway, no, it was surprising. It wasn't like super full. It was probably about half full, and it was a small screening. But yeah, it was all right. It went okay, except for the idiot on the phone. You would like the game Marvel Rivals. They just added Cyclops and Jubilee. I mean, I'm sure I would, but man. At least to look at the abilities graphics and they have lore stories to unlock for each character. Stop it! What is 1080 digital? What were you talking about? Oh. Thunderbirds? Is it Thunderbirds? Stream it from a questionable source. I mean, I'm serious. The YouTube Thunderbirds looks great. It looks really, really great. So I saw Team America World Police, which is basically Thunderbirds. I mean, yeah. But the marionettes. They address the space travel. Wait. Oh, holy crap. They addressed the space travel time lapse in Project Hail Mary. That's why they had to put in comas during the journey. People go insane being confined in the ship for that long. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yes. Yeah. But there's also like, and maybe maybe you're right. I didn't really think about that, but you're probably right. But that was my least. Like I was like, oh, that sucks. He gets. Oh look, everybody's back, and then he's immediately killed. Anyway, I didn't reply in Discord, but I remember Tech TV or early G4 running episodes for a while. Ah. Some guy said a while ago some of it was filmed in my hometown. I still think that show sucked balls. I mean, I get it. I mean, and yeah, it was on TV a lot when I was a kid too. And like I said, I didn't really remember a whole lot of it. All I just remembered was, oh, it was very handcrafted. I remember the marionettes and all that kind of stuff. But like seriously, 2026 me sitting there watching and going, this story is kind of weak. But then looking at everything they had to make, and then knowing that set has 2.5 discs worth of special features, I was sitting there going, because I love that stuff, man. There's nothing more fascinating than somebody who loves what they do telling you how they did it. There's almost nothing better. And it's one of the reasons why I love special features. I love hearing from costume designers. I love hearing from set designers, prop designers. I love hearing all that stuff. Dude, I could listen to Ben Burt with his nasally ass. Watch it. Just put on a Ben Burt interview, okay? I could listen to that man for hours. And I got to meet him, shake his hand, and he signed my book. But I mean, I love that stuff. So, yeah. Come to New Zealand, visit Weta. They have multiple Thunderbird sets on display, bigger than I thought. Yeah, they are fairly large. I like I said, I did a little bit of a deep dive on Thunderbirds this weekend. I guess I should have put that in the what I watched this week, because I watched 2 episodes, but that was only like an hour and a half. But I did more just looking on the internet and reading stuff about it. I put in physical media the Australian Blu-ray release. It was re-released since the original release was recalled for poor quality video. The Dish. It was re-released since the original release was recalled for poor quality video of The Dish. Okay. Thank you, Shozama. I will look into it, because I mean, that sounds like, I like Sam Neill. I really do. I think I only own like 4 movies of his. And I like the movies where he's kind of playing either a bad guy or like Daybreakers. Did you see that with all I can think of is Ethan Hawke. Dude, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie, and he's good in it. Sam Neill's great in it. Saw Predator on opening weekend when I was 14. You lucky son of a... I don't know when... I can't remember where in the release that I watched it, but I also saw it. Let's see, 1987. Oh, wow. So I was 11 when I saw Predator, because I saw it in the theater. My sister and her... Because my sister's older than me. Would she already graduate high school? Or was she in high school? Because she was dating her soon to be husband. I don't know if they were engaged at this point. but they were dating. They took me to go see it, and I'm sitting there the whole time going, "Oh my God, this is the greatest movie ever made." It's so graphic. I loved it so much. And I mean, I remember when got back to school, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to see Predator?" I was like, "Yeah, it was freaking awesome." It was so good. I love Predator. Predator is like, I love the Terminator, man. I do. But I think Predator's my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie because of that connection I have to it. You know? I don't know. Even and also, look, First Blood is a great Rambo movie. It's a great movie, period. But I have a soft spot for First Blood Part 2 because that was one of the first R-rated movies I was allowed to see. Dude, that whole era. So First Blood Part 2, Predator, Die Hard, Alien, and Aliens. Yeah. There was something I just said that it reminded me. Oh, I think yeah, never mind. I want to go in there. The dish is great. It may be Australian, but don't hold that against it. Okay, Bucho. No Wes Craven, no thanks. Same as Scream, gone to absolute hell. End of Days is best late Arnold career. I haven't seen End of Days. I don't think that was part of my. But End of Days is another one. Isn't Gabriel Byrne like a demon or Satan or something in that? I think it is. But I haven't seen that. Yeah, Kane Parsons did Backrooms, and yeah, Obsession. Curry Barker's Obsession. He's doing anything but Ghosts first, though, isn't he? Set in the same universe as Obsession. I think you're right. Yes, I think you're. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, I urge you to save your money and see a real movie instead of the Odyssey. Rick Chaos. It's already paid for, and I'm going to see it. And look, man, I don't honestly, like, seriously, I don't know what you have against it. Um, I don't understand why people are so against it. And I've only really heard real two things that people keep complaining about. Elliot Page and um Helen of Troy. Lupita Nyong'o. So one is Elliot Page and one is Lupita Nyong'o. Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o. Or Lupita Nyong'o, right? Who I think is awesome. And guess what? I'm gonna go see whatever I want to see. And this is a movie I've been looking forward to for over a year. So money spent. I would love to hear why it's so important for you to. And again, you have your opinion, I have mine, and we all have our own opinion. But why? Why do you say such a thing without seeing the movie? That you're just so adamant that no. Like, what is it? I just want to know. What are 3 of your favorite Twilight Zone episodes? Lou, that is, man, I couldn't even tell you. And the reason is I've seen bits and pieces of Twilight Zone over the years, but I've never watched the whole series or anything. I've never watched like a whole episode like that I know of. And the funny thing is, I own it. And I still haven't watched a lot of that stuff. So that's another one where I probably should watch Twilight Zone too. Put that in my list of stuff. But I don't know. I just the one that I remember the most is the one where Burgess Meredith it's apocalyptic and he puts on the glasses. I remember I don't remember the name of the episode, but it was one of the 80s Twilight Zone where the woman's trying to get out of prison. She befriends I guess the guy that does the burials for the people that die, and somebody died and she gets in the coffin at night. I won't go any further. But yeah, uh, that one freaked me the hell out, and it was really like, oh my god, what a great story. I loved it. Um, but those are the only two that I can think of. One is from the older series, the one is from the newer series. Obsession basically rips off an old Twilight Zone episode, so remaking old stuff could work to appeal to kids. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Choose my own adventure. The whole idea of be careful what you wish for it's a trope that's been around for thousands of years, not just a Twilight Zone episode. I don't know it, and again, I haven't seen the movie yet, so please don't spoil it for me. But the idea might be a little more into the choose your own adventure kind of, or that's your name. It might be into that Twilight Zone thing, but like there might be some more similarities beyond the basic premise. But I don't know that, and like I said, don't spoil it for me because I still want to see Obsession. I just haven't gotten around to it. I prefer my comic book movies to be comic book movies. Grounded in reality doesn't fit my taste. I get that. But see, I like both. Like I like, again, the way that Nolan approached the Dark Knight series or his Batman was more rooted in reality, and I really dug it until he made a decision that pissed me off. And then when I went back, like I said, Dark Knight Rises was my turning point, where it made me realize that expectations can destroy. You have to meet a movie on its own terms, not on the terms that you might have, but you have to meet the movie where it is, not what it could be, what it should be, what it might be, but what it is. And if you can do that, you might enjoy the movie more. And that's just my take on it. Damn, didn't know you had a wound vac. We use them at the hospital a lot. Seeing them heal wounds is deep to the bone. Cool, simple technology. It really is, Lou. Super cool stuff. Super cool. Predator's my most watched Arnold film. Just let Rob enjoy it. And that's the thing. The Odyssey is very old fiction, possibly written by a fictitious writer. So who cares who plays what in it, because they're fictional characters. I agree. I agree with that. But like I said, like to me, when someone says something like that, I want to know, okay, what's your reasoning? Because you might have a reason. You might have, you know what I mean? There might be something that's like, this is why. And I don't like it when people immediately, like when if somebody has a criticism of something, they immediately say, oh, they must be what do you call it? Like they must be racist, or they must be sexist, or they must be whatever. You know what I'm saying? They could have a valid reason. Christopher Nolan took a crap in my Twinkie. That doesn't even make sense. How would you do that? Don't even think about it. That was gross. Tales from the Crypt, the complete series on Vudu, 1999. That's pretty cool. Aren't all movies real if they exist as a movie? If you haven't seen a bunch of Twilight Zone, just think of a horrible subconscious fear you have. There's an episode about it. Yeah, probably. Rob Serling is the best. I know you told me the other night. How many times do I have to tell you this is my premium account? It's Leon, you silly sausage. Oh, I didn't realize that. What's up, sir? I didn't realize. Dude, I forget everything, man. I forget it all. I forget all the things because I'm an idiot. Hush, Ricky. Ollie, Ollie, ooh. Ollie? Ollie, Ollie, ooh. Are these all those old black and white movies you love? You never seen original Twilight Zone? Crazy. I used to brush it off as a teenager because it was all black and white. I was stupid. No, it's not that I brushed it off. I just honestly, I forget, because it was basically like what Shozama is saying about Tales from the Crypt. It was one of those sales where it was like, oh, $20 for all the Twilight Zone? Click. And then immediately forgot that I bought it. And immediately forget that I have it. Because what am I? Movie guy. So I always go to the movie section in iTunes, not the TV section. It's just Christopher Nolan taking a crap in a Twinkie. I don't even know how you would do that. You know? I don't even know. But so here's the deal. It's after 10. We're done with the news. We did all the things. We did all the things that we set out to do. So guess what? It's time. It's time for the Discord. So let's go hang out in the Discord. I mean, if you want, you can come hang out with us in the Discord. I'm opening it up now, I think. Are you opening? There we go. I do have to pee from this general area. Thankfully, it's not out of here, or I shouldn't make jokes like that, because I used to make a joke that wouldn't it be better if your butthole was on the bottom of your heel, and that way you could just lift your leg over the toilet and just go and just be done. And if in a real hurry, you could just take off your shoes and run down the street and just crap as you go, and you just don't even stop. And then what happened? I was pooping out of a bag for a year and a half. It sucked. Hey, look, the dish. There's the dish right there. So I'm in the thing, and I'm turning on my camera. And hey, if y'all want to come hang out, come hang out. But I have to go pee, and I have to put the towels in the dryer. So
Your pee over there.
what? What'd you say, Ricky? Was that Ricky?
I said go put your pee over there.
Yes, exactly. I gotta put my pee in there. They remade most of the Twilight Zone episodes in color in the 90s, didn't they? I don't know about that. Outer Limits. I'm gonna go play Pirate and enjoy some black. Oh, dude, I really want to play that Assassin's Creed. I've never played that one, and it looks like right up my alley. So you guys like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag stuff? But hey, I hope everybody has a great one. I hope everybody has a great week. I hope if you want to go see the Odyssey that you go and you have a great time. I hope that you keep your eyes open if you're interested in Avengers Doomsday tickets, because they go on sale on Monday at premium formats, even though, yeah. Or whatever, just enjoy all the things. Enjoy the things you have and stuff and things. So, yeah. And Ricky's zooming into his into his mouth. But hey, y'all have a great one, and we'll see you on the next one and stuff. And yeah, there'll definitely be an Odyssey review on Thursday. So, okay, bye. Bye. Y'all came hang out in the Discord, dang it.